Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Patriots Unfiltered.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, and we got 2 more hours of Patriots Unfiltered this week. Let's make it work.
Yeah, then you guys, we're off, right?
We're heading out to London.
London,
Hello.
No,
Where the Patriots will be taking on the Jaguars, 9:30 Eastern Time on NFL Network this Sunday. A game which both teams, I think, believe they can win. Yeah.
And they should.
Yep.
Yep.
So both teams will win.
No, both teams should believe they could win.
Okay.
You know?
All right. It's Alex. It's Paul. It's me. Deuce and Evan will be by later. We'll be doing our picks later, so we got to hurry. But, you know, we've got a lot of news out there, and some of it's okay and some of it's not okay. First of all, Ben Volen reporting that Mac went for an MRI after practice.
Yeah.
What, Jules?
Mac or May?
Oh, did I say Mac? Oh, I got Mac on my mind because we're playing the Jaguars.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I meant
I didn't
May.
even catch it.
You didn't even speak Fred for me there.
I didn't.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
May.
Good thing Jules is
Yeah,
there.
now we don't know how accurate that report is because I think he's the only one reporting it, right? Yeah.
No one touched that with a 10-foot
I thought you were
pole.
going to say because it's from Bedford.
Well, I kind of. But, yeah, he is the only one. But all it takes is one person at Shields MRI to say, oh, I saw Drake May today. We don't know what it's for. We assume it could be the knee because that's what he's on the injury report for, and it could be just, precautionary. Just make sure everything in there looks okay. But, who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, and, Alex Van Pelt talked about it a little bit, just about a half hour ago. He had his press conference. He felt like Drake looked like his normal self yesterday at practice. But then I thought there was a follow-up question, and, it was about, do you anticipate whatever he's dealing with to impact at all? He's like, no, I don't think so. So at first it was kind of like, well, I don't really know anything about any injury. And then the follow-up was kind of indicating, well, yeah, he's dealing with something, but we think it's going to be okay. So I don't think it's anything that's going to prevent him from playing on Sunday.
I'm worried about the running.
But I do think he's dealing with something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it happened during the game or if he tweaked it in practice or something,
Or if it happened in practice.
Right.
We don't know.
Right. So,
yep. So
not great.
There's that, not perfect. And then this Christian Barmore thing. I mean, we're not going to dwell on it, but dumb. Just like, first of all, get your car registered. Second of all, like, okay, you get stopped. It's not registered. Just do what they say,
I think tweeting at 1 a.m. is what really...
Tweeting and calling your mother. And it's like, what are we doing here?
I feel like they let him off pretty easy. Like, you have to get your car towed. Like, you can't
Right.
drive an unregistered vehicle.
No, they would get in trouble if they
But,
let him
like-
drive and then something happened.
But then to go on Twitter and tweet about it and make the police department look bad, like, then they're going to be like, okay, we let you off, but you want
Right.
to now say this? Bet.
Well, that's stupid. It's funny. I was listening to Zolak today. He goes, yeah, it happened to me twice. It's like, of course it did. So,
Yeah.
like I can see him as being a person not getting his car registered in time. This is, I guess, when he was playing at Pennsylvania registration. So, it's a little bit more complicated, but still, you got to take care of that stuff. I have a son who is, in his 20s. I harp on him. You got to take care of that. Your insurance, your registration,
Yeah.
you got to do that.
And if you have substances in your car,
Well,
you're
that's
just
a whole
target.
different thing, yeah. I mean, nowadays, weed is the same as, it's nothing, really. But
Yeah,
you
but
can't be doing
you
it
can't
and driving.
be doing it driving.
Right.
And
Like
on
just-
blood thinners,
I don't know about
Yeah,
how
so-
that works into
So
it.
this,
Well,
this is where we're going
marijuana
to
lowers
turn the show over to
your heart
Alex now, and
rate.
she's
Yeah.
going to explain to us the dangers.
Right.
weed lowers your heart rate. If I were on blood thinners, I would not be doing something that lowers my heart rate.
Okay.
I'll probably leave it at that.
All right.
Okay, so that's like I said.
Maybe
we're
it's
going to turn it over to
medicinal.
Alex.
Maybe
and
it's a
she's gonna
special
know.
type. Maybe it's prescribed by the doctor.
I hope it is.
So, like,
I don't know. What
I
doctor,
agree
but-
though. Like, the weed is like sort of the lesser of the things, but I do like people are very quick to just sort of dismiss that now because it's legal.
Yeah.
And you make a good point. You still can't drive.
Right.
Right.
Like, if someone had a beer, like one beer, driving around, would that be okay? It's
Not if-
legal.
not if
Beer's
it's
legal.
open.
Right.
But
Like,
if it's not open,
No.
like if I just went to the package store and I had a 6-pack,
Right, but
I have to get it home somehow.
right. No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if it's like, it would not be okay.
If
to
it's
do
open,
that,
right? No,
Right.
right.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's legal, but you can't drive around under the influence.
And that's
Right.
why
Like-
I think they let him off because they could have done an OUI test. And frankly, after seeing the video, I would have given him an OUI test. That was wild.
That's one thing, and it's just a total aside, and this has nothing to do with Christian Barmore, but I don't understand, like, these workers who, of course you can't drink on the job, but feel like on their break they can, smoke weed. Like, it's still altering your faculties. Like, it's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's recreational. Do it, when you're not working. But, like, man, people think that now it's legal. Like, it's just like a cigarette. It's not,
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just me. And by the
just-
way, you're not getting away with anything because it reeks these days. When I was a kid, it didn't smell like it smells now. Now you can't walk around with this stuff on you. 'Cause
THC content isn't what it used to be.
You can smell it. You can smell it. You're not getting away with anything.
And that's why I think they just, I don't know, they need to be smarter.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's smarter and just common sense. and,
Yeah.
like,
He turned what I think was a really nothing thing into a big thing.
I think if he didn't send that tweet, no one even knows about it.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, why? I mean,
there's probably hundreds of people every day in Massachusetts. I think this is in Rhode Island, but whatever. Hundreds of people in any state every day they get stopped because they forgot to renew their registration.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
especially, I think it was like a week
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
or
Yeah.
two.
It's not a big deal. It can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
But once you get stopped, you got to be like, oh, mea culpa.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do what you got to, like, you
Anyway.
can't throw a fit. Don't
Anyway,
throw a
it's-
fit.
So it's an unfortunate situation, and it's funny. Like Alex mentioned the blood thinners, and that to me was my big takeaway. Like, I went all football.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, this is
if you're
not,
trying to get back
you
on
know,
the field,
This is not a violent crime or anything like that. This is,
Yeah.
a misdemeanor or whatever. I mean, obviously bad judgment.
Belligerence.
it's
Yeah.
just bad PR more than anything.
bad
It's
bad
just
PR,
like,
bad
stop
judgment. I
being
get
so
it, but
entitled.
yeah, it's not something that's going to end up, ultimately leading to his dismissal from the team or anything like that. But when he's talking to his mom, his mom is basically, imploring the police to be careful because he's on blood thinners. That was my big takeaway. Football, he's still on blood thinners, and maybe
Yeah.
we're not quite.
That's the headline.
Well, 'cause, like,
They
Gerard-
bury the lead.
Yeah, like Gerard had sort of let us, gave us an indication late last week that there was a better chance of him being able to come back and playing if they're still not past the blood thinner stage. Maybe I'm not sure how realistic that is. I'm no doctor, so.
All
But
right.
that was my big
So
takeaway. He's still on blood
those were
thinners.
two things that have developed since our show yesterday. So let's talk about the game a little bit. For what it's worth, like we talked about early on, both teams I think are in a situation right now where I think more so for Jacksonville, but both teams really need a win. Patriots have lost 5 games in a row. Jacksonville, went into the season with high hopes. They thought that Trevor Lawrence would play better this season. They've got some tools, but it's just not happening. And so I think their head coach is on the hot seat, Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
And so they really need a win. And, I would put the Patriots in that category as well as needing a win just to, a get straight game.
Yeah.
You've lost 5 games in a row. New quarterback now. Let's get a win here.
That's why I think the New England's morale is a lot higher than Jacksonville's. I don't know about Jacksonville's morale right now.
Yeah, Patriots didn't lose last Sunday for a lack of effort. They just got outmatched. They just came up against a much better team. But I think people are accusing Jacksonville, some players, of giving up in that game, just lack of effort. So that's more of a reason why they need to come out and just prove that they still want to play. But we'll see.
No, I think that's the big question to me coming into the game is what kind of motivation does Jacksonville have?
Yeah.
Are they determined to give one last push out the door for Doug Peterson? Because we've seen these international games can end badly.
Yep.
You take the flight home and all of a sudden the announcement's made.
Yep.
So is that their goal, to get rid of the coach, or are there enough people in there that have the professional pride and say, this is our fault that this coach is on the hot seat like this. Let's do whatever we can now to save his job. I could see it going either way.
Yeah, I don't see Doug Peterson as the kind of guy who players would end up not liking. Like, he doesn't seem to be that.
I think there's some static with Lawrence and Peterson, but
oh yeah,
I don't know exactly where it emanates from, and if it's who's in the right, who's in the wrong.
Listen,
no idea.
Trevor Lawrence is a guy who I think over the years have had good reason to complain, and he never has. He seems to be a pretty good teammate, and so if he has static with Doug Peterson, I blame Doug Peterson.
Okay. It is static with two different coaches now, though.
Well, Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Can you blame him?
Well, just because you think you're right doesn't mean it's right. You've had static with two different coaches.
Even
Urban's like last month in Jacksonville.
Even that season, I think Trevor Lawrence kept his mouth shut for the most part.
I agree.
Yeah.
And you're right. He was
I
doing
agree.
and when you're that young in the league, I think he handled it perfectly.
I do.
Now
I
think
I
he
agree with
probably
both of you.
has a little more credibility to be able to open his mouth.
Yeah. So, that's
I'm just saying, sometimes when there's always static between you and someone else, at some point it might be you. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I think Urban Meyer was a train wreck. His 1 year.
He
in
was, and it
Jacksonville.
was very unfortunate that that's his first season in the league. He got off, on the wrong foot as an NFL quarterback. It was too bad. On the Patriots, Gerard was talking yesterday about making changes, and they pressed him and they said, does that mean starting positions? And he said, yeah, and I don't know what they could be, but
sounds like linebacker might be in focus based on DeMarcus Covington today.
But he was talking about pre-snap penalties that we just can't have those, and he doesn't really have a lot of tools in the tool belt at this point in terms of swapping guys in and out.
No,
yeah.
So I don't. Other than
that's why the discipline stuff is so annoying. What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know if they have the kangaroo court, where they're finding guys internally for these type of things. I don't know if the CBA allows for that anymore, but something, he needs to do something to, get these guys on the field disciplined.
Yeah, and it sounds like linebacker might be, maybe Christian Ellis is a guy we talked about yesterday. He's been in a little bit of a third down role the last couple of weeks. Covington seemed to indicate that maybe he's earned a little bit more. So maybe we'll see him on early downs. They got to do something about the run fits and the run discipline up front. Covington seemed to think that the guys, the defensive linemen, anyway, were doing their jobs. I would have liked to have gotten a follow-up in there about the amount of yardage they've allowed if everybody is doing their job. I think Godchaux's played pretty well, but I find it hard to believe that all the rest of them have done their job and still allowing 192 and 193 yards in consecutive games. Beyond that front seven on defense, I'm not sure. You're right, Fred. How many options do you have? It's probably Bourne getting more snaps, maybe Polk getting a little less, but those are going to be your four receivers.
Right.
Bourne, Polk, Douglas, and Booty.
He said, we're going to put the people out there that we can depend on that give us the best chance to win. It's slim pickings. I hate to say it right now.
So, on my show yesterday, one of the lines of thought that they had, it was more like as I was leaving and I listened on my way home, it seems like they're sort of, Gerard Mayo circling the wagons a little bit and putting a lot into this. We want some accountability. We want to change the way it's going. It's just the outcome of this game may be a little bit more important as a result. We want to win this game. We need to make some changes, and if it doesn't work, you kind of wonder, does that lead to a spiral?
Right.
When you put a lot into a game and you don't get the results, sometimes that can have a really, really bad effect. So I do think it's an important game for a young team that's trying to establish something in a rebuilding year.
For sure, especially for the defense. I know we're probably a lot higher than Paul was on the defense, like coming into this year, but just linebacker issues and stopping, like that's the last issue I really expected us to have this year. I know injuries played a lot into that, but it's not a position I ever would have imagined the team to be in.
Well, I mean, we did worry, what the loss of Belichick would mean. Both of them.
Yeah.
Steve and Bill, it had to mean something.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Yeah,
I mean, even though I had my questions,
well, you
I didn't
trade
expect it to be
Judon.
like
I
this.
think you trade Judon at the beginning of the year because you think
Barmore.
you're going to be okay.
Bentley's hurt. So it's been one thing after another to just weaken that defense a little bit, and then you just weaken it enough, and then the dam breaks.
Barmore, Bentley, Peppers, like right down the
Right
middle.
down the
Yeah, and not to mention Duggar just dealing with injury
and he's
issues
not 100%.
too. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's been one thing after another for the defense. So eventually it's going to break, but we'll see what happens. I think defense you can rally. More so on more offense, you just have to have the talent. Defense, sometimes you can get by on effort and just playing as a team.
Yeah.
And then having good coaching to scheme up things. So we'll see. We'll see about the defense. Got an email here on podcast@patriots.com. Person says, "Why, all caps, have you discontinued the chat for the live stream shows? In bold, are you afraid of answering the question during the show?" No, I'm not afraid. We had a couple racist people on the live stream, and until we get the filtering figured out, we're not going to continue letting these people have a forum. But we are going to apply some filters, I believe, and once we get that, we'll open it up again. So,
Do you want me to be in charge of the online chat?
yeah, we need some monitoring because
know we did that.
we have some babies in racists on there, and so until everyone can behave and we have the filter, we're going to
That's the
close
thing.
it
Play
down.
Like
nice
we
in
can
the
handle
sandbox,
the
people.
insults. We can deal with that, but just keep the racist stuff out of it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't really be. It's not a very high bar. You should be able to, say what you want without being racist and insensitive.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that I'm not afraid. No, I'm not scared.
Are you afraid, Fred?
It's like-
Do you think they're going to ask you the tough questions?
Yeah, I'm just afraid.
Okay.
All right. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. We'll get to some of those because we have to hurry. Got a big picks day coming up, right? What time is Evan and Deuce going to be back?
Well, everything was pushed back a little bit. Deuce should be here shortly. Locker room was opening at 12. I think Deuce wanted to get a couple of things. Then he was going to come. Then Evan will be pushed back to like 1 for practice, I think.
Uh-oh.
So he might be coming in hot.
Okay.
We'll see.
For the picks.
For the picks.
Yeah. He stinks anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This week it was a little different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A little different?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Some
I don't like
impressive records this week
I don't like the sound
for
of that.
some of us.
I don't like the sound of that.
Sniff.
I don't think I did well.
Let's see. Shane writes in, Fred must have been trolling with the
Yes.
Bayern Munich kit during the Frankfurt pick. Last year I wore that. If he's looking to troll London, an Arsenal lot will do the trick. Arsenal have won 25 more trophies than the Spurs over their history. Spurs are known for choking and generally disappointing. Spurs are much more akin to the Jets than the Patriots. I don't know why the Spurs are involved, but okay. I wasn't planning on wearing a soccer shirt. I have a special shirt I will be wearing, though, Saturday night.
Are you going to tease it or just let it be a surprise?
No, let it be a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I have that soccer shirt they gave me that year somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
I feel-
better
what
than
was
that thing you're wearing now.
And there it is.
I don't.
I
I don't like these shirt hoodies.
What do you mean?
Like
It's
Oh,
like
there's
a
a hood on
T-shirt
that.
and
It's
there's a
like-
hood.
yeah.
Fred
A
doesn't
very
like
light
it.
like a shirt
sweatshirt.
with a hoodie.
I've literally had this for at least 10 years, and I wear it all the time because it's very comfortable. And every time I wear it, Fred has a,
So the hoodie
a
has to be
derogatory
thick?
comment.
it should be a sweatshirt.
Okay.
Like Andrew Whitworth, is that his name?
Yeah.
He wears them all the time.
Okay.
Like you're not going to put the hood on. Have you ever put that hood on? No.
I've never put a hood on
So
a,
why are
of
you
a
wearing something
sweatshirt
with a
hoodie
hood?
either.
I have,
Okay, you
If it's
have.
like raining, you
but
put
I
it
never
up.
have.
but I just don't like that. I don't.
Fashion
Never is a
police.
strong word. You know when I put a hood up is when I'm like shoveling snow and I'm out with the snow blower.
Right.
You
put the
I
hood
put
up.
everything I have. I have one of those head socks too. I put everything on.
Yeah. That'd be a
But
sight.
in regular like
Yeah.
just wearing a hoodie, I would never put
No,
the
most
hood
of the
on.
time you don't, unless, like I said, it's
Oh, I'm a
raining
big
or
hood
something.
girl.
You need cover.
Baseball hat with the hood over the baseball hat.
Oh yeah, that's
a look.
That's you young kids.
That's a look.
You young kids, but you don't need that.
Look at the look on his face.
You don't need that. Let's see. Brandon writes in. He says, "When should we expect to see Bourne become a bigger part in the offense? I know he's still working his way back, but he's been non-existent since he's been back on the field. Also,
Maybe this week.
I hope this
could
week.
be. Yeah. I fear that AVP offense and scheme doesn't really fit May's playing style. As for the defense, I'm starting to get discouraged with Gonzalez. He doesn't play physical at all, and it seems sometimes that he shies away from contact. To be a shutdown corner, you have to be a little physical and be able to make open field tackles, and I'm not sure if he's capable of doing that consistently. I think he's tackled well, actually. I think that's one thing that he's done pretty well. Even when he lets up a pass, he's right there to make the immediate tackle. So I'm not complaining about that.
Those aren't open field tackles. That's not what he's talking about.
No, I know, but like I don't. The physical part, like at the
He's
line,
not very physical.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, that part I can see.
criticism.
Yeah, that part I can see. But I think he's a pretty sure tackle.
I would just like to see him. I think he's been pretty good. I would just like to see him used in a different way. I would like to see him lock down somebody. Like,
yeah,
just say going into the game, you are going to play man-to-man,
Like man-to-man,
90
right.
whatever plus % of the snaps, and you're going to take X receiver, whatever the other team's number one guy is.
So
and
you'd
I'd like to see him
attribute
do
like
that.
it more to the scheme they're running on defense than him.
Yeah,
not
I
being
think he's
physical?
pretty good. I do. I just don't think that he's been asked to do what a lot of my colleagues claim that he does. And that is lock down the other team's receiver. When you're only asked to play man-to-man a handful of snaps against one guy, that's not locking down a guy.
Right.
So at the end of the day, when the guy finishes with 3 catches for 25 yards, I don't necessarily credit one guy for that when they played 60% of the snaps in zone, according to Evan anyway. I don't chart this crap.
Yeah.
I leave that to
Right.
Evan. So I would like to see him play the way Ty Law did and Steph Gilmore did and Aqib Talib did and, just man-to-man, you have this guy, and we know that we're going to win that matchup. And I haven't really seen that on a consistent basis. Are we interrupting you today?
yeah. There's some stuff.
We got things. We got things going on. It's going to be the Alex and Paul show. I can tell the rest of the way.
I will say about Gonzo, he's come out of his shell a lot this year in terms of like off the field stuff. Gonna do a little lifestyle moment. He's been awesome in the community. He's great with the
nice
kids.
kid.
Like he's really coming out of his shell, and like getting to know him has been pretty cool. Like I think he'll be really special.
I like
here.
everything about him, to be honest with you. I think we had a question yesterday, Alex, like about draft picks that you had, like when you made the pick and it made you excited.
Yeah.
Because they picked him. And he was one of the guys I picked. I was really
100,000%.
excited when they chose him. I wasn't expecting him to be available
Well,
at
that's
17.
the thing. It was such a surprise that he was there.
So I was really happy with the pick. I've been really happy with the play. And a lot of times when you say, well, he's not that, it means that you're bashing him. And I wouldn't bash any game that Christian Gonzalez has played yet. Like, I don't think he has had, quote unquote, a bad game as a pro.
Right.
But I think he's being like sort of considered this next level.
Well, it's just fans
like Patrick
projecting.
Surtain
Yeah,
kinda
people
corner.
are projecting their ideals onto him before actually just like watching him play out.
Yeah, we all want him to be that shutdown, but I mean that's what he should be. He was drafted in the first round, and that's what he needs to start, playing like eventually. Now, it's his second year, but it's only his like 10th game.
Yeah.
So he's only got a half a year under his belt.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it. But
Yeah.
I do. I want to see him being used in a more aggressive way.
Yep. Alex and Fulton. Now, Paul, this person's calling you out for being two-faced because of your shows.
It's not the first time.
Because of your show. You ready for this?
Sure.
Can you take the heat?
Yeah.
Can you take the smoke?
I can take the smoke.
Alex in Fall River, I noticed on the post-game show, Paul said he had to be honest in that Drake May exceeded his expectations for his first game. Is that accurate, first of all?
I mean, I'm going to say yes. I don't remember saying it that way, but I'm going to say yes.
In contrast, while listening to one of Paul's shows, Felger and Maz, he said the complete opposite, and I quote, "If you ask me if he exceeded my expectations, I say no. It feels like when Paul is on his shows, he tries to fit in and be cool and temper his positive takes to fit in like a chameleon."
No, so
where's the
Play-Doh
consistency?
Paul. Play-Doh Paul.
I will say this. Now, I'm sure that he's right. I'm sure that I said that on the post-game show. I would say that I might have been overstating it on the post-game show. My point that I was trying to make is I think that he was exactly what I expected. Good. That's why I wanted him over Jaden Daniel. Like, I think that this was kind of misinterpreted a little bit.
Yeah.
Again,
like you thought he was good, so he didn't exceed your expectations.
Right.
Right.
And I'm not dismissing the emailer because I'm sure that I said he exceeded my expectations if he says that I said that. But my point being is that I thought he was really good, and he made some really good plays. I also saw some really bad plays. I was kind of expecting those too. So I wasn't – I would say I didn't get – my expectations weren't exceeded. On All Access, which will air tomorrow night, Mike Reese and I were asked that question, and I said no, he didn't. And Mike said he did. And I said, well, I guess you didn't think as much of him as I did. Because that's – like I wanted him over Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has arguably been the best quarterback in football. Forget the best rookie quarterback. He might be the best quarterback in football through 6 games. And I wanted Drake May over him. So I'm not overly surprised that he played reasonably well.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like
No,
I
I
said,
get it.
I'm sure I said it on the post-game show, but more accurate from my feelings would be I was really impressed, and that's what I expected to be impressed.
Yep. So we didn't. I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm a complicated man, Alex.
You just surround yourself with so much negativity on those shows. It's hard to.
Tony in
But
Virginia.
don't forget, Mike Felger thinks it's better to win than lose. I know you probably think
Nobody
it's better to lose.
agrees with that. He's,
No
the
one
only,
think-
he's the only one that thinks
No
that.
one thinks like that.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Tony in Virginia, I wanted to get your guys' take on expanding the use of the central ref from New York. Take the missed face mask on Gibson. Why is New York not able to buzz down immediately and give them notice that there was indeed a face mask? I've also heard the refs are huddling more often this season because they are using more input from New York. Do you prefer the slowing down of the game to get the right call at times? To a degree, but like there's probably holding on every play.
No, I
so
don't.
they can't be like buzzing down.
Not for
you know.
holding, but I think stuff like that face mask the other day.
I don't want any of that. I don't want any more meetings, huddling up. I don't want any of it. There's too much replay. I think it should go the other way. It drives me crazy. That was a face mask. They missed a face mask. Should they have buzzed down when Kyle Duggar tripped Joe Mixon?
Right.
On a run play? Like, at what point are we going to stop?
Right.
Like, the referees make calls, they miss calls. I thought the Mapu pass interference on the first drive was ticky-tack at best. Should they buzz down and say that? We'd like to let that one go.
But I'm with
Too
Belichick.
much.
I think every play should be challengeable. Still with the limits, you still can't challenge more than 2 plays. But if you're right on the challenge, you don't lose it. But any play should be challengeable by the coach.
I agree with that too.
I hate that.
Why?
I just hate it.
You're not going to get any more challenges because you're still only allowed 2.
You just said if you're right, you don't lose
Right,
it.
right. And you shouldn't lose it.
So then you are going to get more challenges if you don't lose it.
If the refs suck, yeah.
Yeah.
So that shows.
So that we could be here all day.
Well, because you think the refs suck.
No, because if you are going to open it up to penalties being reviewable, how many times do you watch a replay and say, well, I mean, I guess
Good.
it kind
I'm
of
all for that.
every play is getting
I don't care.
scrutinized.
You know,
It's-
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think. I know what you're thinking. Like, you know,
I don't
you're
think
always going to be
penalties-
right. And you're never going to lose them, and you're just endless amount of
No,
challenges.
I just think there's going to be a million challenges because the coaches always think that there's a penalty or not, depending on what
but
side
they're going to
on.
lose them if they're wrong, right?
I think there's going to be a lot of challenges is all I'm saying. Right now, there's not a lot of challenges. I like that.
Yeah.
Just let them play.
Well, there's not a lot of challenges because if you're wrong, you lose it. So you have to be judicial. Same way. You're going to lose it if you're wrong.
No, you don't lose it if you're wrong. I mean, if you're right, I'm sorry.
No, I said you're going to lose it if you're wrong.
No, but they challenge it.
Okay, here we go. If you challenge a play and you're wrong on your challenge, you lose that challenge.
Right, that's the same as it is now.
Exactly. So
So why would there be any less challenges?
I didn't say there would be less.
No, why are there less challenges
You
now?
said there will be more.
Right, I do think because if you're opening it up to penalties, there'll be more. Yes.
But if you're wrong, you're still going to lose. You're only allowed 2,
Yeah, but I want to go away from challenges, period. I don't want more stoppages. The games are long enough.
I want the calls to be right. I hate.
But they're not. So, like, I watch replay all the time. They're not right.
I know. So I want to
That
get
Aaron
them
Rodgers
right.
fumble the other night was a fumble. They watched it 17 times on replay. They still didn't overturn it. Like, it's not
those
right.
are outliers. But I want a mechanism
They
to
don't
get
get
it
it
right.
right.
I want a mechanism to get it right.
Like, just, like, deal with it. It's a
AI
human
refs.
There's a human element.
Yeah, it's same thing with balls and strikes in baseball. I just can't stand when a ball is a strike and the umpire calls it a ball. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
we
work.
have the technology.
It doesn't work.
We have the technology. Ron in Conway, New Hampshire, Mike Cadlick just tweeted that May walked through the locker room, no braces, wraps on his knee, and he was walking normally. AVP said no concerns when referencing May's knees. Lastly, in my opinion, the off-field crap that's going on with Barmore and Peppers is unacceptable. Suspension without pay might be in order. As far as the game Sunday, even though it looks like a possible winnable game, it will be tough. I agree. If the offense plays better and builds on the good things they did last week, would the team be buyers at the deadline for players of need? Only if those players can last more than one season. If you're going to get a good player and you're going to be able to extend them, okay. But no rentals, because this is not the season that they're going to contend.
Yeah,
so,
you
like,
get a rental if you're on the verge of like a Super Bowl.
Right.
Not
It's got to be a player that you can either
has
a contract that's long term or that you can re-sign and keep him here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I can't really create too many scenarios where the Patriots should be buying players. Like, I don't think they should be giving up draft picks for players right now.
Yeah.
But under the situation that you guys just unfolded, sure, if you could somehow get a young player who has term on his contract, who potentially is better than what you have, sure. But that's not really sure why those players would be available.
Jeff in Connecticut, no offense to Paul, but Fred's right. A shirt shouldn't have a hood attached. Also, as much as I am a Belichick fan, I never liked the cut-off sleeves hoodie. I don't understand it.
I don't like cut-off sleeves.
I love the cutoff sleeve hoodie.
My arms are too small.
It's like the weight of a hoodie, but you're not as restricted in the sleeves.
Well, I think
More
that's why he
airflow.
cut him off. Because
Yeah.
also, he would cut a slit because I think he used to have
Probably
like a thing on the side.
the
he wanted.
headset and stuff.
Yeah. All right.
So, by the way, in terms of buying or selling at the deadline, Mayo was asked specifically about the two wide receivers, Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper. He said, yeah, those aren't things that we were involved in,
Yeah.
which makes sense to me. They shouldn't be buyers.
Those are
of
win-now
kinds of-
players.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly. TPX hotline, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. Cameron is in North Carolina. Hey, Cameron.
Hey, guys. I just had a quick thought. I know Gerard Mayo said that it was his decision and his decision only last week to elect May as a starter. But I was kind of wondering, the week before we go to another international game, do you think Kraft had any say-so in that decision due to the poor product that we put on the field last year in Germany, and maybe him not wanting to go 2 years in a row in an international game playing like crap? And I'll take it offline. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure he doesn't want to go 2 years in a row playing like crap internationally, but I think the Crafts are ultra sensitive of being accused of meddling, and I don't think that maybe they let their opinion be known. I don't know, but it was Gerard's decision. You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't want to play 2 years in a row like crap overseas. It's just bad. I feel bad for our fans. You know, they get all excited about seeing their team live. You know, and then you put up a stinker like you did last year. That was embarrassing.
Definitely.
That was embarrassing. We were all Robert Kraft in our puffy jacket with our head down. I mean, it was when he threw that ball, it's like, okay, we got a chance. We're in the red zone. We can pull this out, and then he throws it right to the other guy. Oh, awful.
Credit to the German fans, though. They were still just...
Yeah. No,
obviously, they would have liked to see a win, but they were just so great.
There was a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Oh, they're great
and there's going to be a lot when you guys get
Definitely.
there tonight, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. You know, our UK fans are great, and it's also fans from all over Europe that come.
For sure.
So,
Hop on the train.
I can't wait. Nelson's in Los Angeles. What's up, Nelson?
Hey, man, how we doing today?
All right.
Just saying y'all doing a wonderful job, letting y'all know that all the time. We're going to win 31-17.
31-17. I
All
love
right.
it. Are they all offensive points or some of them defensive or special teams?
I believe one defense.
One defense. So you're going to score about 24 points on the offense? Okay, I'll take it.
Yep.
All right.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks for the call, Nelson. Wasn't taking picks, but, that's okay. That's fine.
Well, he picked the right side. So
Yeah.
We'll allow.
Yeah. Kelly in Salt Lake, I don't want more challenges. We were talking about it.
No,
But
you're
I
right,
wouldn't.
Kelly.
But I wouldn't want to like to see the referees held. But I wouldn't want to see the referees held accountable for egregious miscalls.
I would like to see the refs held accountable
Yeah,
for
this
egregious
is-
miscalls.
It's terribly written.
But I just figured it out.
Yeah, I think the referees need a
Context
governing
clues.
body that holds them accountable. How about something more? If you suck, you don't get extra games in the playoffs.
Well, that's how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
They're graded after every game, and then at the end of the season,
the best crews get the playoff
But then-
games.
but
the
they-
best referees,
right?
the best grades.
They split up the crews, which
Yeah,
I don't think they should.
I don't know if they still do that, but
Yeah. Okay.
But that is the way you should do it. Like, what if you have a back judge who's the worst back judge in the league, but he's on the best crew? So now you have the worst back judge in the league doing, a playoff game.
Yeah.
Can't have it that way.
Ellen, Wisconsin says you are missing the point of the hooded shirt. When you're doing something like hiking, you want a lightweight shirt. Paul doesn't hike. You want a lightweight shirt because it can get hot.
That's
and then,
accurate.
Then you have the benefit of the hood if you want to keep the sun off your head and neck.
How are we looking?
Yeah. No.
How's that? No?
No.
It looks like a Halloween getup.
Yeah, it looks like, you're going to ask me for my money.
Well, I don't think that's okay. I really don't think that's okay.
Well, I'm just
Is
saying.
that because I'm Italian?
No, because you have a black hood on.
No, I think it's because I'm Italian. Anyway, I just
Well, if you were Italian, you wouldn't ask.
Just hand it over. These are your
himself in.
dues.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable shirt. I enjoy it. I do wear it a lot. I wear it probably once a week, the entirety of like October through say March inclusive. It's a very comfortable shirt. It's like a little waffle weave.
It could be comfortable without the hood, right?
Should I cut it off?
Yeah.
It came with a hood.
I would.
But the,
Talk to Ralph Lauren. What do you want me to tell you?
ooh,
It's a
fancy.
polo.
Yeah. Tony in
There's a horsey down here.
Tony in
There you
Potton,
go.
UK.
Yep.
Be careful
Ralph
what you
Lauren.
wish for when it comes to video reviews. This has been involved with the English Premier League for a few years, and it's a nightmare. They still get the calls wrong, and the game is so much longer.
Thank you.
90-minute game has turned into a 100-plus
And what's the
minute
key?
game.
And what's the key? They still get it wrong.
And
And
this-
I've seen enough replay reviews where they still don't get it right to say, I don't want more.
And this is without the coaches being able to challenge. Leave it as it is. At best, don't wish for more. Well, I disagree, but that's okay. I get the point. Soccer's got it all wrong.
Uh-oh.
They'll be playing.
Does Deuce have a regular shirt
I
on
was
with
just
a
gonna
hood?
say
Another hoodie shirt. Oh, I can't stand it. You guys are trolling me, right?
Why? What
They
did I do?
coordinated
You know
this
how
morning.
I feel about hoodie shirts.
Paul
Oh,
texted
all
Mike
right.
and was like, "Hey,
I thought
I'm
it was
gonna wear
cool.
my
I
thin
like hoodies, but
hooded
I don't like
shirt."
hoodie
Mike.
shirts.
I had to represent the the struggling Sharon Eagles, I should say. I'm sorry, Fred. Yeah, it was a little too cold, so I put something underneath. Is it just specifically a hoodie T-shirt?
I just
The
don't like
hoodie
the
T-shirt.
hoodie
If it was just a hoodie, he has no problem with
I
Be a
love
hoodies.
thicker
hoodies.
material.
Sweatshirts.
There's not really an appropriate climate to wear a hoodie T-shirt. You know, like you can't, like it's not so cold. You need the
Right.
hood, but you
No.
know, the arms are breathing. All right, well, sorry. Just
Yeah.
trying to represent here.
Fred doesn't like it.
I don't
and
like
when
it. I'll
Fred
go
doesn't
take off
like
my
it, that's
shirt.
law. You know that.
I don't like it. All right, Deuce, what do you got to say? Oh,
Look who's back from the locker room. What was the mood? Were the players friendly? Too bad none of them look like Derrick Henry. Hey Mike, what was it like in the locker room? Hey Mike, what was it like in the locker room?
That's fire.
Isn't that going?
That's
Like
so
that?
good.
That's the first
That's
time
the
you've heard
best
it?
one.
Yeah.
Scorching.
Yeah, I thought so too.
yeah.
I thought so too.
Better than Evan's song.
Totally better than
Yeah.
Evan's song.
Yeah.
This one's more my genre than Evan's.
Yeah.
I'd
I mean,
say.
honestly, I thought Evan's song was better when it was about me, and now when it's about him, I don't really care for it as much. That was an appearance by the owner in the locker room today.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
RKK. Walked through a lot of bags, packing up for England. So I did do. I feel like now I'm establishing a routine. I need to go into the locker room for a little bit. You know, just get the vibe, the mood.
Well,
of the
Fred
team
used to
little
do that
bit.
a lot, just
Yeah,
you
you
know,
know,
for
check.
morale.
You know, nobody needed a pep talk or anything from me.
No.
I was ready to deliver it, but it wasn't asked. But then we heard from Austin Hooper, Kendrick Bourne,
Hooper.
and Mike Onwenu in the other locker room, in the Revs locker room. We need a name.
Locker
for that
room
place.
adjacent.
Locker room adjacent, the champagne room of
Oh.
locker rooms, I guess. I don't know.
No touching in the champagne room, no
No,
matter
no,
what
no,
they
no.
tell you.
Definitely no touching. I thought Bourne was the most interesting one. I mean, he always is. He's just got great energy, but he's really kind of hammering down on we're building for the future, and it was. And I thought Phil Perry had a good follow up of how hard is it to kind of balance, competing for the now, trying to win games now, but knowing that you're building for the future. I mean, honestly, the way Kendrick kind of said it, I'm like, whoa, like we're in the season here. We're not all just thinking about 2025 yet. But he was great. He said he was swimming in it a little bit his first game back, and then last week he felt a little bit more aware. He doesn't feel fully physically back, but a lot of compliments for Kayshon Boutte, who caught some compliments from Alex Van Pelt today as well for his hard work.
He did. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah, Bourne. Bourne said they said they're competitive in the meeting room, and they'll call out things on the board. And he said Boutte's on top of it. Boutte's coming out with what the right answers are. So.
I thought it was interesting. Van Pelt said they challenged him a little bit. They
Yeah.
didn't like the way he was practicing early in training camp, and they challenged him to be better.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. No,
he
I mean that's
was very very strong to it. And we saw that manifest itself in practice over the course of training camp. He was better at the end of camp than he was at the beginning.
It's a good story. Not enough of that.
I really appreciate how he's just put his head down and worked, and I don't know. I think it shows.
Yeah, he's reaping a little success now. I mean, a long way to go. You got to continue to build off of what he did last week. But Bourne also said he talked a little bit to Polk yesterday, trying to pick him up a little bit. And again to Alex Van Pelt, he's a rookie. There's going to be ups and downs. I think we're all hoping that Polk can get back on track and deliver. I think they need a player like that. So good stuff. Austin Hooper fully admitting fumble can happen. We're trying not to hang our heads, and it's not easy. I mean, they're 1-5 right now, so I think all those guys are hoping they can get a win maybe here and change the narrative a little bit, because how once it starts kind of snowballing, it gets harder and harder to break the trend.
I mean, this is where I agree with Felger. Where some people say, oh, they should lose the game so they have the high draft pick. No, they should win as many games as they can win.
Yes,
that's the culture you want to. It is a culture thing, and it is a mindset, and it can really get negative. You know?
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And
it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose.
Right.
It's hard to win. I mean, it's the old cliche. It's harder to win than lose. And if you establish that it's okay to lose,
right,
then you make it easy on everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. And when you hinting a little bit, he's been working at both spots, so we'll see how it works out with the guards and the tackles of it all. Maybe Vidarian Lowe is able to get back out there today. I don't know. I'm not really holding out hope that the guys that didn't practice yesterday, including him and Stevenson, are going to be able to make the trip and play. It just seems like even harder with the long travel, and I don't know. It just seems to complicate things even a little bit more. So might be on Antonio Gibson again to try to carry the load, try to get that run game going a little bit. I think that would be helpful.
Was Ramondre in the locker room?
I didn't see him. No, I did not see him. But I know he was around yesterday. I saw him. I did see him yesterday. So.
I was he was posting on Instagram. I think he lost a good friend. I think a good friend passed away. So I was wondering if maybe that's why we haven't seen him at practice. But then I heard he was in the locker room. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to be hopeful and think maybe it's not injury related.
Personal issue.
Because he really played down that injury post game.
Yeah, right. I know. That's what's a little strange. I don't know. It's one of those more bizarre things where a guy limps off and you're like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. And then he comes back in, but then he's out again. I mean, it's.
And then in presser, he said, I just took a helmet to the calf. It stung. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was like, okay, maybe he hasn't been practicing because he lost a good friend. That's understandable. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I still, because that's what I thought. He took I actually thought it was the shin, and then he said calf, but then it's listed as foot. So. I don't know.
It's what we do here,
I don't know what it's going on.
The calf, it's all
the back,
lower
leg,
leg,
back
leg.
Probable.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Jacob in Illinois writes in at podcast@patriots.com. Longtime listener, fellow trucker like Big E. Thanks for making the drive fun. With the offensive line woes we've had, would taking a look at David Bakhtiari be something we can consider? At best, he's a veteran presence that can shore up the left side. At worst, I can't imagine he can be much worse than what we've had so far. And an added bonus, it's a friend of Aaron Rodgers we can take away from the New Jersey Packers.
I think that ship has sailed. I mean, we've been talking about David Bakhtiari going back to the spring, and there's plenty of teams out there that need tackles as bad as the Patriots do. So I don't think if he hasn't come out of retirement now, I think he's done.
Like if he was going to come out of retirement, like Kansas City has no tackles.
Yeah.
You know, go there. I just wonder if he's, and I say come out of retirement. I don't think he officially retired, did he?
No.
But if he's healthy enough to play, I would think that he would pick a team that he felt like had a postseason chance.
Like it's kind of hard to convince a guy to come out to a 1-6 team and 1-5 team. Sorry,
that was hurtful.
That was a slip.
And you listen to like what you said, Kendrick Bourne said.
Yeah.
You know, like we're building for the future. Well, yeah, I mean, guys that are on the sideline aren't clamoring to come back. Now, if that's his only option and he wants to play, well then, sure. Kick the tires and look into it.
You know what drove you nuts in the locker room today, Paul? Was people asking for explanation of details of Drake against the zero blitz in practice in the opening segment of the practice. And it was
this is what we've resorted to. Is we have to get they really look good in practice.
Yeah, right. Hey Jules.
Hey Jules.
You have access to the emails over there?
I can try to log in on my computer.
Well, the one from James McLeod, I'd like it. There's a graphic in it. If they could get it, if you could get it over to KSP,
nice cartoon.
I'd love to have them put that up on the screen.
Okay, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, it just came in at 12:45.
Got a nice graphic there.
Yeah.
Boy,
cartoon.
What's he doing? What's he up to?
I don't know.
Who's he mocking?
I have a feeling my hoodie might be involved, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, did Fred attack your hoodie too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we had did a whole
What's
bit
wrong
on
with
it.
Paul's hoodie? It's just a zip up.
He hates this shirt.
I don't like
He
shirt
tells me
hoodies.
every time I wear it, which causes me to wear it more.
Ralph Lauren, if you're listening.
Because I'm a teenager. When you tell me not to do something, I'm just going to do it more.
No one can convince me though that Bill Belichick wasn't responsible for it. I don't ever remember a short sleeve hoodie before Bill Belichick.
Oh, I had one in 1977.
Really?
Did you really?
Really? Yeah. Oh.
Short sleeve sweatshirt.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
So Fred's been hating you all the way back to the 70s.
Well, I don't think Fred knew me in the 70s.
It's
But
the
if he
hoodie
did,
shirt.
it's
It's
the
the hoodie
pleats.
shirt. It's not hoodies. It's the hoodie shirt. Kyle and Pembroke. First, Evan's song is still better than Mike's.
Oh.
Kyle,
Wow.
you just made an enemy.
Secondly, do you think Booty will get more snaps over Polk because of their recent performances? And third, I think the Patriots blow out the Jags 35-10.
Wow.
So Booty led the receiving corps in snaps last week.
Yeah.
So he's already doing that.
Yeah. Right.
And he's earned it. He's played, I mean, the production hasn't been off the charts, but he's played well.
Yeah.
When he's taken advantage of his opportunities more so, I would say, than the other guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think you suggested yesterday, Paul, that Polk could be a candidate to just give a little mental break to, pull back on his reps a little bit. I find it a stretch that Javon Baker is going to suddenly appear and get a chance. And I mean, I don't know if that would come out of
I
nowhere.
would find it really strange if Polk all of a sudden was inactive. But
or-
I could see Bourne maybe getting some of Polk's snaps and
Yeah.
them switching. Because what was it, like 50%, I think, Bourne had?
Yeah, it was like 25% the first week and then about 50% the next week.
So I could see, maybe whatever Polk and Bourne were last week, I could see them switching.
Yeah.
And Bourne, getting 3/4 and Polk dropping down a little bit. But I think he'll be active in the game, right? You don't think he'll?
No. I think he'll maybe reduce the snaps a little bit. I mean, I like what you kind of said, which was maybe they wait and let him, let the game declare itself, let him get settled, and then all right, now get in there, hold back that racehorse a little bit, and then let him loose.
Spee writes that we were talking about challenges and all that stuff. Spee in Fresno says, if the games get slowed down because of correct challenges, that could create pressure on the league to improve the officiating. It would be short-term suck for long-term gain. Or it would be trading suck for suck, but either way, it blows now. I say blow it up so it doesn't suck so hard.
Did you ever watch a college game?
I try not to, but yeah.
Why?
Because it's all penalties and big plays
and
turnovers.
4 hours.
Yeah. Right, I know. It's crazy how long the games are.
Because everything is reviewable.
It's so true.
And it takes forever for the games to end.
They're forever.
And it's been like that for 10+ years.
Yeah.
So that hasn't improved the officiating.
Everybody wants to talk about it, though. Micah in South Dakota. I think
because there was an egregious face mask missed last week. That's why everybody wants to talk about it.
I think you could fix a lot of the issues with officiating if the NFL actually made them full-time employees.
Yeah.
I work with the daughter of one of the white caps in the NFL, and he sells insurance in the off-season. If the NFL made them full-time employees and gave them more training throughout the off-season, I think that would fix some of the issues. I also do like the human element of it because it gives me something to complain about.
Yeah. I don't like the mistakes. I don't think the officiating is good. I'm not here to advocate on that. I just don't know what full time. So like if I watch video like on Wednesday, it's gonna instead of Friday, that's gonna make me better on Sunday.
Yeah. What about putting the pressure on them of this is your only job now and you better be good at it?
Or what if you just make them answer to the media afterwards?
Well, you have the ability to do that.
Like a press conference,
you could do a
like
pool-
we
no,
all
you do
pile
a
in
pool,
with
you do a pool report.
pool reporter.
Yeah.
You don't want them, I understand why the league is protective of the refs because you can't have them like being attacked every game. That's going to make them even worse.
Maybe.
Plus, there's too much homerism
Yeah.
in the media corps, and it's like, well, they're out to get us, as
Yeah.
opposed to, well, do you really think it was a bad call? Like, what are you doing? Like, the judgment calls to me should be different than whether a guy's in or out of bounds.
Yeah.
But it's all lumped in together. They're all out to get us.
I think Jules might have something to say. She's like,
Who was the email from again?
I just forwarded it to your email box, so you've got it.
and there it is.
So you can just send it to KSP. Let's go to the TPX hotline. Pat is in Agawam. What's up, Patty?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, Patty.
Patty?
Ready? I'm a little disappointed in you.
Okay, tell me why.
He loves hoodie sweatshirts. Short sleeve hoodies.
Because when you took Cameron's call, you didn't say Cameron, and usually accentuate names like that. So, but
I don't know what he's talking about.
regarding the game,
I was looking for a cue.
Yeah. Okay, sorry,
Patty, it's only Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, what do you?
I'll be better.
You're in full-fledged Sunday afternoon mode right now.
Suck him back on.
What are we
Griffith's
doing?
cough medicine.
I'm on my lunch break. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
By all means.
Smoking weed.
By all means.
Yeah.
Proceed.
I do contract work, but I'm not one of these guys that gets stoned and go to work. Or we'll have beers on lunch break because I like my job. I don't want to get fired.
Yeah.
But
You're the one.
just regarding this game, I think, Paulie, I thought your point about this team possibly being in a spiral or being in a tailspin is pretty apt, and I could possibly see a big win, especially if that is the case. I'm looking forward to it, and just whoever said that, do you think they started Drake May because they don't want another stinker internationally? Just because May's starting doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to stink up the joint. I mean, I don't think they will, but just because he made a quarterback change, he could still go out and lay a stinker. And there was one other thing I can't remember, but that's all I really had to say. I think we're winning this week. I'm happy, I'm confident, and I want to see Bourne be a bigger part,
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right, thanks, Patty. I mean, I could see a big win. I could also see a big loss. I don't know what's going to happen.
I could see a shootout.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be the thing I'm most likely.
And I say shootout like around high 20s.
Yeah.
24-21.
Yeah, no, I don't know, like 50.
And anything could happen.
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, I don't see a blowout, but you're right. I can't rule it out either. Like, that whole thing about the motivation, I feel like I thought, Mike, before you came in, Mayo talking about changes and, refocusing and, fast start and all this stuff, like, that's great if it works. If it doesn't work and you lose again,
what you going to do
then
now?
what's going to happen?
Yeah, right.
And I think Jacksonville's in the same exact spot. Like, they're 1-5, they're a mess. And do they come out and they say, we got to do something about this and play our best game? Or do they just say, well, it's over? I mean, they're not making the playoffs. They're 1-5.
I mean, do you think that, though, it's a little harder on Jacksonville if they lose in that they feel like they kind of have the pieces to compete.
But I
came in feeling
the
they were
1-5
compete.
is definitely harder on Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen the rest of the season, I have no idea. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe not.
Eldred's,
I think they're done.
Eldred's on the line. What's up, Eldred?
From the road. I like that.
There it is.
All right.
What up,
I have
Alex?
people.
How you doing, fellas?
Look out!
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, Eldridge.
I got two questions. Okay. One, Mike touched on it a few minutes ago. I was listening to him. What's up with Jaquan Baker, and is Tyquan really a dud? And two, do you think Elliott Wolf's going to try to turn the season around next year after reevaluating this year? And I'll take it off the air.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Eldred.
Well, I just tee up the Javon Baker thing. I mean, the coach has talked about he's got to be more consistent. He's learning how to be a professional, those kind of things. So I feel like it's probably a behind-the-scenes season for him unless injuries start to happen. They'll, maybe give KJ Osborne another chance at some point. I don't know about Tyquan. It seems like they're cycling through those guys with Booty, trying to find an answer. They're clearly going to play Polk a lot.
Yep.
They like Bourne. Douglas is playing well, so those guys are locked in. But I think it's trying to find those complementary pieces. What was this?
Lee and Malvern.
Do you think he's using this season to figure out what he has and then going about adding next year?
I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer it. Yeah, I mean,
he.
it's not what you're always doing. I don't know. That's yeah.
Well, I mean, Lee in Malvern, UK, kind of has a related question. He says, looking forward to attending the game. That's great. With May more willing to throw the ball downfield, do you think we can sort out who was worth keeping from our group of complementary piece wide receivers? I think it's a good point. Like, I think forget about throwing it downfield. I just think having a better quarterback allows you to evaluate your wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's especially kind of concerning if Tyquan can't get on the field with May and his ability to throw the ball deep, because that's what you were hoping Tyquan Thornton was going to bring.
To me, it's more about how the receivers play. Now, I get that you might be able to get a little bit more out of some of the receivers if May's a better passer. Like, your passing game should be better, but like I think if you're a good receiver, you figure out how to make an impact. Like Garrett Wilson was every bit as good with Zach Wilson throwing in the ball.
Yeah, right.
Now, could he be better if he had a better quarterback? Of course he could. If he somehow unlocks this and gets on the same page with Rodgers, he should be better. But I think you figured out the four guys that the Patriots feel pretty good about right now, receivers, and I think Mike is right. How he answered the last question about that group. I don't think it's Tyquan. I don't think it's Javon Baker. I think it's the four guys that we talked about: Bourne, Polk, Booty, and Demario Douglas.
Yep.
I think those are the four guys they feel really good about right now. We'll see what happens the last 11 games.
I'm feeling really good about this food that just came. So we're going to take a break. But before we do, I just want to tell you that it's really easy. And what is really easy? Bud Light. It's easy to drink. It's easy to enjoy. Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the New England Patriots. And, of course, our friends at Bob's Discount Furniture getting ready for the long fall-a-day weekend. And you can get ready for an epic Patriots-Jaguars matchup by hosting a cozy watch party with Bob's Discount Furniture. Party-ready dining sets for your game day snacks. Relaxing reclining sectionals for your cheering section. Bobopedic mattresses to dream about the next game. When you shop the Bob's Dare to Compare Challenge, you'll find everything you need, and all for way less than the competition. So stop in and see how much you can save when you dare to compare with Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. We'll be right back. Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
when someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes.
Oh no.
Replacements were shipped with FedEx, and with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
Not even a chuckle with the good morning. All right, that one missed. That's all good. Doing well. Look, so turning the page on the Jacksonville, a team that, even though their record may not be what they want it to be, they still have weapons all over the place. They have weapons, obviously, as on the defensive line, linebackers, really on all three levels defensively. I would say offensively, they also have, big players over there. So we got to do a good job, matching their intensity, or they have to match our intensity. And that's going to be, our focus this week. And our focus also is we got to start games faster. We have to start games faster. And that's definitely a point of emphasis this week.
I feel like maybe this trip to London can kind of re-energize you guys and get you kind of going in the right direction?
Yeah, I hope so. I would say, looking back on that last game that we just played, there were times and things that you could pull out of that game and be encouraged about. In saying that, I think we need to do a better job playing complementary football, and hopefully, a long trip across the pond, helps us continue to build our relationships and chemistry, and we start trending in the right direction.
Gerard, short of schematics, game planning, what can you do to try to produce better starts? What are the things you do this week to try to produce better starts?
Yeah, so we have a period in practice today where it's like nothing else really matters. It's not about X's and O's and schematics. You must have saw the practice script. But we have a start fast period where, it's just offense versus defense, and we're rolling out of the gate, and that's the plan.
You mentioned a period last week where you guys opened good on good and it was a blitz period. Is that something you've been trying lately, or will this be new today, the good on good right now?
No, we've done this the past couple of weeks, so it's not much different. Today we'll do it in the red area, though, because I think that's a place that we need to do a better job offensively and defensively.
What have you seen from Pop the last couple of weeks that's allowed you to have a level of success in games?
Look, he's one of our best route runners. He can really run any route, and he does a great job getting open. I would say now we're finding him, and the quarterbacks are making the good throws to him, and he's picking up a lot of yards.
Have you found any common denominators on the penalties? I mean, we saw the practice of the Roadies.
Yep.
Didn't seem to clean up for a big period of time, looking at that at the beginning of the year, and then they've come between unforced errors.
That's right.
Guys where we can tell they're just trying to get back to this.
Yeah, I mean,
In the last two.
the common denominator is just a lack of focus. When we're in the middle of the season now, and to have a penalty on the first play of the game is just unacceptable. And so it's a lack of focus.
Just real quick, sorry. Who do you yell at?
Well, I will say this, there will be changes for this game. And so my message to the coaches and the players, really, we want our most dependable players out there that we can really count on. If you're going to, pre-snap, post-snap penalties, we can't live that way. So I guess to answer your question, it's the personnel part of it, like a wake-up call.
On that start period, is that like the top offense versus the top?
It is. Yeah, we did it the last couple of weeks, which, hopefully, obviously didn't produce what we wanted to, but maybe through doing it again, it'll work.
Gerard, when you mentioned changes this week, just to clarify, does that mean in the starting lineup, or what are those changes?
Yeah, there'll definitely be changes in the starting lineup. Look, we got to put the best guys out there that give us the best chance to win.
Coach, I know the linebackers are put in a tough spot. No Juwan Bentley, just activated Sione Takitaki, but what have you seen from that group recently?
I would just say we have to be better. We're not playing at the level that we need to. And look, Bentley's not coming back anytime soon. And so we need someone to step up in that role. And so whether you get that from the linebacker room or the safety room, you just need to have, better production out of that group.
Gerard, there was a police report filed to do with Christian Barmore in the Providence. Are you guys aware of the situation? Have you addressed it?
Yeah, we're aware of the situation. I had a conversation with him this morning. But, like I said, at least for this time here with you guys, I just want to kind of focus on Jacksonville.
Can you provide any update on the Darian Lowe?
Look, we'll see as the week progresses. It's unfortunate. Again, one of our most dependable offensive linemen, going down is definitely difficult. In saying that, we'll see how the week goes.
Do you expect him to be out of practice today?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Gerard, second straight year for the organization having an international game. What did you learn about last year's experience that you're maybe applying this week as you guys prepare for this game?
Just say this, the schedule. The schedule as far as, leaving tomorrow and making sure the guys are fresh for Sunday. I thought we were fresh last year. We just didn't play well. So that's what I learned is just the schedule. It's tough to go, to go east versus west, but I think we have a good plan.
With Vidarian Lowe going down, do you guys look to move Mike back out to right tackle?
That's in consideration.
Gerard, what do you remember about 2012 against the St. Louis Rams in Wembley Stadium?
Not much. Was that Steven Jackson? 2012. Was that Steven Jackson, that running back?
Gerard did the Nutcrackers spike.
Yeah, we won that game. Yeah. What was the score?
45-7.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, I remember more about after the game because we had a good time before we got back on the plane.
This may be more of an LA question, but you guys picked up another center yesterday. We called Green Bay's practice squad. What attracted you to the guy?
Yeah, he has upside. I would say once again we look at the practice squad as a place where we want to develop those players. So hopefully they become starters at some point or rotational players. I did learn left-handed snappers. It's a little bit different. I never knew that, which I thought was interesting. But this guy definitely has potential to be a good player for us.
The Bills and Jets added Devontae Adams and Amari Cooper yesterday. Were you guys in on any of those conversations?
Those are conversations that we, when I say we, the scouting department, Elliott and his staff and the coaches talk about. I would say those teams that you're mentioning are at different points in that cycle. So. We weren't really in on that stuff.
Gerard, how do you quantify growth from the first game to the second game, just moving forward for a guy like Drake and just trying to see that progress?
Yeah, for a guy like Drake or really any other player, you want to see him get better in practice. And then obviously you get to the game, you want to see the confidence. You want to build off the things from the previous game or the prior game and just continue to, erase the mistakes that he made in this past game.
When you talk about starting fast, specifically offensively with Drake, will there be any consideration moving forward to just try to maybe get him some easy throws to start out to sort of get him into the rhythm of the game? How do you feel like the early portion of the game plan went for him this past week?
Well, the past week, we had those run plays. I would also say it was the first time that a rookie quarterback, making his first start, center really being here 5 days, that was part of it. But I think you guys, as you watched the film, he got better as the game went on, and that was important to see. And so once again, hopefully we can build off of that.
Jelani said Monday that when asked about what he saw in film, he said we're pissed off and we have a lot to prove. How much do you feel that will resonate amongst the entire group as you get ready for this next?
Yeah, to me, and I tell the guys this all the time, it's about that action. It's no more about like talking about what we need to do. It's about what we put out there on Sunday.
Final question. You talked about this being the foundation of the year and the concept of figure out what we have and then we have going through. How do you maintain what is kind of a building year when you've got a point cycle and maintaining the urgency for the players to take? You need to win now.
Yeah.
It's not for next year.
And that's the tough balance. And I would say, from my perspective, we can win with the guys in that locker room, and we just have to go out there and do it. And it starts this week against Jacksonville.
You'll obviously see Matt Jones this weekend. Just wondering, how much of it all did the way things fell apart for him weigh on you in deciding how cautious to be with Drake's development plan and what plan?
I didn't really think about it that way. I think every situation with a first-year quarterback is its own unique situation. And so, Mac is, I'm good friends with Mac. I think he's a great guy, and hopefully he turns into a great quarterback. Thanks, guys.
And now, great moments in history.
I ended up turning around and reselling the ticket on Ticketmaster and actually made more on one ticket than I paid for the two.
Wow.
Right?
Oh.
So I get to the game, and I sit down, and there's this really nice little old lady, and she's like, "Oh, how did you get tickets?" And I'm like, "Oh, Ticketmaster." She's like, "Yeah, I just bought mine. My husband, who's a big Patriots fan, he passed away, and so I felt like I needed to be here for it."
Oh
and
my
I'm just
God.
feeling worse and worse that I took
wasn't
this
it?
money, and then it was so bad she couldn't even drive to the game. She had to leave early to catch the train to get back, so she had to leave, and I felt
You're a
so
horrible person,
terrible.
Deuce.
I'm sitting next to her, I'm
such a
like,
bad
I don't know,
person.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
I just bought it on Ticketmaster.
For $8 million.
I know.
That's another great moment from
I felt so
All
bad.
right, back
Abusing
here in
the
Patriots
elderly.
Unfiltered. It's Paul, me, Deuce, Alex. Evan will be by any moment, and we'll be doing picks. What do you got, Jules? You look like you want to say something, no?
Oh, she
she's
wanted
talk-
you to say
she's-
Jules in the
I think
booth.
she's talking back.
Y'all can tee up the meme.
The meme. You
Tee
can
up the
tee up
meme?
the meme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, who wore it better?
Yeah.
Eminem
I
or
had
Paul?
I had a feeling.
Perillo.
I had a feeling that my hoodie was going to end up.
I
in
like
there
it.
somewhere.
I like it. There you go. That's great. Our resident cartoonist.
8 Mile. Was
Yeah.
there an 8 Mile in Everett?
Arms are heavy. No.
Hey Fred, I pitched an idea to Paul yesterday. I think it would be maybe a fun off-season game for the show, of what if we have Morel gather pictures of all the famous callers, and we have to try to figure out
who's who.
Who's
Oh,
who.
that's
I love
funny.
it.
Isn't that be
That's
funny?
a great idea.
I think you can
Yeah.
either do a live, or you could do a test.
Because
where
I'm
he
really
gives it
bad
to-
at that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Whenever I
Name
just
to a
hear
face.
somebody for a long time, and then I finally see what they look like.
Right,
Wow,
right.
I didn't think they
Like,
look
what
anything
is-
like
like,
that.
what does
Yeah.
Spee look like?
Yeah.
I know
but
you guys
just,
know
just
like
to
Eldred,
clarify,
right?
it's not like a fault. I'm really bad at that. How would you know what
No,
the
I
person
know.
looks
You just
like?
know
No, but
their
some
voice.
people probably are better at it than me. 'Cause I,
Well, it's like when you're reading a book too, you visualize
Right,
the
right,
character,
right, you're
and then they go
absolutely-
make a movie out of it, and you're like,
That's
what
not
the
what I
hell?
thought at all.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think that's a
that'd be
great
pretty
game.
fun.
No,
I mean,
Mike,
maybe you
That's
Mike
put it
and I
up.
had the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
they send them to Morel. We
Yeah.
don't see them.
Yeah.
It's a
Is
great
this a
game.
He puts it up.
pre-recorded
You just-
segment, or no? We're
Maybe you
just
just
going
flash the
live with
picture
it?
up of
I
the
think we could-
person.
I think we
behind
could
us.
do it live.
Off-season game.
Yeah,
game.
off-season.
We'll put it down. I'll talk to Matt.
I mean, not in the middle
Little
of a
do our
1-5
listeners know that
campaign.
actually we want their pictures so that we can give them to security here.
Right.
Keep them away.
Don't let them anywhere near
Only,
us.
just kidding.
Yeah, Mike.
We
Mike
love
did
our
the
listeners.
whole thing. It was
Ah,
great. I was well on board.
Came out to me, yeah.
That's good stuff.
That'd be fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Travis in West Virginia writes in at podcast@patriots.com. I hate to be that guy, he says, but I have some criticism to offer on Mike's new song.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Well, hey.
It's a great song, but the line that says, "What was the mood?" is the exact line from the Evans song.
Oh.
She should have found a way to change it up. Also, what paperwork do I need to fill out to request that Pat Nagawan be temporarily suspended from the show?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Nobody gets more hate than Pat Nagawan when it comes to
Poor
listening.
Patty.
He can take it. He
Cousin
can take
Pat,
it.
yeah, cousin Patty knows how to take.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I tease him so much.
He calls in early. He always kicks off our pregame show usually, right? He's the one that's usually waiting.
He's usually
for us.
on the line before we come
We
on the
haven't even
air.
gone. He's already
Fred
ready to
gets
go.
mad.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Come on.
It's rude. Fred calls it rude.
Like showing up to a dinner party before it starts.
Oh, jeez.
Kinda.
John writes in, I love how Mike's contribution to the show is being handsome, laughs at all Paul's jokes no matter how bad they are.
That's true.
And tells his Hollywood stories.
Oh.
And Evan waits to talk until his song is played like he's in a 90s sitcom. And he's waiting for the applause to die down to read his lines. God, I love this show. You guys have the aura.
Oh, I love it.
Aura.
I
You guys
guess-
know that one?
Well, I think Paul's funny.
Is that a new thing?
Is
The
that
kids
new
are all
Riz?
saying aura. He has
Yeah.
aura.
No, what does that
He's got
mean?
that
Like
aura.
you just have
You
the...
know it
Like
is.
he has Riz.
He's got a
Will
certain-
has said that about me for at least a
Yeah.
couple of years, and I'm dead serious.
He says you have aura. That's nice
for
of
a
him.
couple of years. Oh yeah, long
That's very
time.
kind
and
of
I
your son
make
to
fun of
say.
him
OG aura.
because I go with the anti-aura. But
I've definitely seen some older women during the draft party that thought you had aura.
yeah. How you doing? Mike, you're not the only handsome one on the show, bro.
Oh, you
Lady
should have
goes
seen
over.
the old ladies at the YMCA the other day, the Livestrong problem with Christian Gonzalez. It
Oh,
was
okay.
like
Oh yeah, they like.
they were like,
oh,
I had
Poppy.
to.
Hi, Christian.
They're like, how old is he?
Oh.
Oh, I'm old enough to be his grandmother. I don't care. Oh man,
He's got that Riz. He's got that aura.
he's got the aura.
I have to say, I think he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
He's a very good-looking kid. He's
I
gonna be a
also
star.
je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Oh, je ne sais quoi.
I don't speak Italian. French.
French.
See, She did that.
I
She goes,
spoke
"Merci
French
beaucoup."
to-
I go, "I don't speak Spanish." She's like, "That's French."
Baxter.
Thanks.
Joe writes in, how many of the 2025 offensive line is on the team right now, including injuries, so Andrews counts?
2025 offensive
Think
line.
and when you.
Who we would cut or who's under contract?
Like, who's going to still be here next year?
Andrews might not be. I don't know. I would say Onwenu. That's the only one I feel 100% confident about.
I think.
mean,
I think the guys they drafted.
Someone's got to emerge.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be
That's
on.
a great question, though.
Yeah,
I can make an argument for or again a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be starting, but I think Layden Robinson will.
Oh,
still
will
be
be
here.
on the team?
Yeah,
that
will be
Layden
on the
and
team.
Caden.
I
That's
thought he
different.
said starting.
Yeah,
Yeah, Robinson and Wallace will be on the team.
Yeah.
So will probably be on the team.
City so.
I don't know about Strange only because of health.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he comes back and he shows that he's healthy, then
Yeah.
I would put him in that group
Like, what
because
if
he
he
has
can-
another
what if-
year left, right?
Yeah. What if he can play center too? You know, like that. Could,
Yeah.
I think one of those guys has to emerge at left guard. I mean, that'd be the perfect, like, whether it's Robinson, Michael Jordan, even like can one of those guys lock that spot down and just so you don't have quite so many holes to fill. But maybe Strange could be center. I mean, in a perfect world, you want Caden Wallace to be your right tackle next year, I would say. I mean, but it's asking a lot. He's been injured and.
Yeah, I'm not willing to say those guys will be starters, but Fred's right. More than likely, like Mafi, that situation, that's rare.
Yeah.
Year 2, not good enough to make the team.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Eugene Chung.
Well, he made the team.
He got cut. Parcells cut him.
When?
Remember? Eugene Chung.
Yeah, when?
His
A
second
couple
year.
years into his career.
No, it was 2 years. He was a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, I don't think it was the first year he got cut. I don't think he got
I
cut
said
in
his second year.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't think he got cut in year 2.
Okay, year 3.
Well,
he wasn't on the team long,
it's
and
not-
Parcells set an example, and he cut him.
But it's not the same thing.
All right, I'm
If
just saying.
if year 2 and year 3 is not the same thing.
All right.
Like that's a big difference.
Look it up.
Mike is looking it
He's
up.
got it.
What year?
Chung.
Eugene Chung.
But it also was a whole different regime too. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, hold please. He was born on June 14th. It's all right, I'm getting to it.
I do remember I vaguely remember Parcells cutting him. I didn't realize it was that quick though.
Well, he played 15 games in 1992 as a rookie.
And then he got
16
cut in
games
year 2?
as a second-year player, and then he played 3 games in his third year.
So it was third year. 3 games into his third year.
Okay,
He got
I'll
cut.
give you the points.
And he went to Jacksonville
That's
and
close enough.
Indianapolis.
He got cut in year 3.
Yeah.
In season.
In
Oh,
season.
right at the beginning of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a shocker. Tony writes in, I don't know why people want Baker to play. The coach has told us he isn't getting it. You can't have him out there running bad or wrong routes with a rookie quarterback. He could make the situation worse and could hinder May's progress.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand why people want to see him. They want.
He's got
you
some talent in college, and he showed some explosiveness. And I mean, we certainly hyped him up a little bit in training
Well,
camp.
but they haven't seen really any explosiveness from the wide receivers.
Yeah.
A little flash from Demario Douglas this past game. So they want to see if there's something, the guy that they haven't seen might be something that they don't know. So, I get it.
Yeah.
Now, the emailer's right as to why he's probably not playing. Those kinds of things are a problem.
I'm not wrong though. Wasn't there a period of like a week or a couple practices where he got a lot of like, whoa, it's happening. Like everyone was kind of
Mike,
excited.
you know how I feel about those.
No, I know. That's why I was flashing back. But I mean, I think
This
that's
is where you guys make fun of me for being
false
negative.
expectations on guys.
Correct. And that's why I say to Fred all the time, I don't throw that stuff around because when it actually is great, I want to have a place to go to talk about it.
Right. He's even
says
great.
that all the time.
Yeah, I know. I tell him that.
Like Drake May on Sunday, for example.
Right.
I'm not going to call that a great performance because I think he can play a lot better than that.
Oh, yeah. Jeffrey in Canada writes in about the challenges. He said the NHL has a good fix for challenges. If you challenge and you're wrong, you get a 2-minute penalty. Makes the coaches really think before they challenge. NFL could institute a 15-yard penalty for failed challenges. That would be interesting. Not sure it works.
It would be worse than just losing a timeout or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
You'd have to really weigh the situation. I have, 2nd and 3 from the 20 if I'm wrong, and all of a sudden it's, 2nd and 18.
Right.
Yeah. I like it. Sure.
whatever we can do
Quick
to get
math right there.
Implement it.
I
I'm
just-
not laughing.
I
at
struggle
that.
with that.
I mean, there's nothing more frustrating for fans to see your team get or not get a call.
Oh, that last week game, and with the third downs on defense, that first drive, it was just, that's so maddening. It's just, especially when it's so specific to the situation where it's like you think you almost got to stop, and then no, you don't. And I mean, I'm sure it's hard for the team too. It's the same emotional kind of roller coaster where you think you've done something good, and then all of a sudden, nope, we got laundry on the field.
Those are the ones that kill me.
Yeah.
The third down stops, and then the flag comes out.
Yeah.
There was, I think, 2 or 3 on both sides in that game. And I was just like, all right, can we just like have a play without a flag?
I think the refs are getting better though at the plays in the end zone that they call them touchdowns now because they know it'll get reviewed.
Yeah,
all scored,
right, right.
Then we don't have to. So if it's close, call it a touchdown. Let the review.
Yeah, and
figure
I
it
thought
out.
they did a good job in the Monday night game. Garrett Wilson caught one in the back line of the end zone, and it looked live. Like I was like, how did they not call this a touchdown?
Right. Yeah, I
they
thought
said
that
it
too.
was incomplete, and they never even had to go to replay. They fixed it.
They called
from
down.
from up top.
They called
toes
down.
in.
Yeah.
And
Which
a knee.
the heel. Oh,
and
yeah,
a
knee
knee.
too.
Oh, yeah.
He had 2 feet and a knee.
Oh.
Like it didn't look all that close live.
No, he drove an RV through the.
And Fred's got a good feel for the judgment
The end
calls.
zone.
Jay writes in.
Need a tissue?
He's got something to do with the military because it's got all this secure stuff on it.
Oh.
Unclassified.
Encrypted?
This is
classified
it's
email?
unclassified email.
All right, good.
How awesome would it be if the Las Vegas Raiders hired Belichick to coach next year with TB12 his boss?
So do you guys really think that that's – I mean, I know that everybody was writing about that yesterday, talking about – but you guys think that's a real possibility? The Raiders going to make a run at Belichick?
I don't really know why not. Why not?
Because I don't think they're close to winning.
No. Oh, you're saying, but you don't think Bill would want to go there?
I don't know if you. Why would you want to coach that?
Like, they got the
he's
Taj
gonna be the
Mahal. Why
coach-
wouldn't he want to go
He's going to
there?
be a coach for a year or
Right.
two,
Yeah.
and you're not really. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't think they're
Bill
close.
thinks he can coach for 10 more years.
Yeah.
He's found the fountain of youth,
I'm not
and they
sure
have
he
the
could coach
Taj
for 10
Mahal.
more minutes.
Taj Mahal, tax-free Nevada.
Yeah.
What do you think the temperature test is right now, though, for Bill getting back into coaching? Like, do you feel like he's going to be back? I still kind of feel like he's going to be back next year.
Yeah, I don't know. My gut says yes. He still wants to coach.
Oh, I think he definitely wants to coach. I think
Why
that's
do you think
100%
that?
because he's been openly campaigning with his 17 media appearances per week.
No, but is that because he wants to coach or because
Yeah,
he wants to figure out what he wants to do?
I think he wants to coach.
Yeah.
He said it. I mean, he told Schefter, right?
Can't wait to quit all his TV shows and just be like, I'm done with this. I'm back to coaching.
I don't know if he's going to get a job, but we'll see.
I think some team will take a chance.
Oh,
I just think that it changes the narrative about a team, and then all of a sudden your whole thing is we have Bill Belichick now, and what's he going to do? And
The only people who won't like it are the media in that town, and who cares?
yeah,
Right? Todd's in North Carolina. What's up, Todd?
Hey guys, I was just wondering about when guys said that with preparation, it's like there could be many layers to that. There could be the player's preparation, could be a coach's preparation, but could also be maybe they didn't think enough about the defense before he even started because they just they don't have any backup. They don't have anybody that's going to be able to step in and do a lot of the things that they need, and they seem to be constantly going through injury issues. I don't know. What did you guys take on that? I'm more worried now about the defense than the offense. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Great show.
So we were talking yesterday because who was it said that we weren't prepared?
Yeah.
Dietrich Wise?
Yeah.
I
don't know. I feel they haven't really have they had a big injury the last few weeks? I mean, I think they've kind of been stable. Am I not remembering?
I mean,
somebody
they're
right
missing.
now? I mean, Duggar, I guess. Duggar
They're
and
missing
Peppers
good
were,
pieces, but Duggar missed one game. He came back.
Yeah.
But Peppers, Barmore, Bentley. Those are significant pieces that you lose right in the middle of your defense. But I agree with Todd's point. I think that the depth is a little bit more lacking right now. But that's the state of the roster. Your starters aren't as good as they were either. Judon goes, and that puts other people in. Keon White, as an example, would be one of those guys that's playing more if someone went down.
Yeah.
He started off playing almost every down.
Yeah.
So some of the guys that you had as backups last year are in bigger roles. Some of them play. White's played reasonably well. So that's not an issue. But yeah, I mean, I think. You lose a Lawrence guy, and they really didn't replace him.
No.
And then when you lose Barmore on top of that, so now it's Godchow by himself.
Yeah.
You know, whereas last year it was Gachow, Barmore, and
Guy. You had
Guy.
three.
You know, so that's a big difference.
Three legit
You
NFL
chip away at the
inside
depth,
players.
and now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
guys that filled in situational roles like Aquale, like Jeremiah Farms, they're asked to be in more prominent roles. I think it's a trickle down.
Yeah,
I think we need to sign somebody named Siegfried.
Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, up front.
Yeah. The white
To replace
white
Wise
Tigers.
Guy?
Yeah.
The white tiger. What if you played
We
the
used to have
Bengals
Wise
then?
Guy, and now we could have
You play the Bengals
Siegfried.
in their white uniforms. That would be confusing.
Yeah,
you have
there you
Siegfried and Roy going against the white Bengal uniforms.
Brilliant.
One of them might die.
Dylan writes in, Mike, I like your song. Your role also includes quietly making jokes that usually go unnoticed by
right.
everyone other than Paul. In all seriousness, I've noticed a huge fall off in Jonathan Jones, wondering if you guys see it too. I'm guilty of seeing him through the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs Tyreek Hill lens, but he has no business covering those Tank Dell, Tyreek Hill, JSN, Jay Flower types in 2024. It seemed to me that they pulled Gonzo from Diggs to cover Dell after he was easily separating from Dell. I think he meant from Jones. We also have to play the Jets twice a year now, and they're going to roll out Lazard, Wilson, and Adams. I also see him getting blocked fairly easily on a lot of big runs. He seems to be a liability in all matchup settings, and I think cornerback has been talked about as an issue, but to me seems like an even bigger issue than most think.
I don't know if it's that extreme, but I saw him chasing a lot. in
You know
that
what he
game.
looks like to me? Like he's not healthy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just
That was
10
last
years.
year, too.
Yeah,
He was
10
banged
years
up all
of
last year.
wear and tear.
He's been on the injury report
Good
a lot
player.
this year. And
Yeah.
what is he, 31, 32 now?
Yeah.
Good player who I think is kind of
and he's
kind of
going to be a free agent this
Back
year.
nine
so
anyway. you know?
Yeah. When
it's
you
the
talk about
contract year.
needs for next off season, that's something you have to
I'd
consider.
look to see if a good team is looking for depth in the secondary.
Yeah.
Can you get even a day 3 pick for him?
Versatile guy, could probably play a couple.
Right?
Could maybe just be your slot receiver now. I don't know if he's still got that kind of short area quickness anymore, but yeah,
I like Jonathan Jones. I think he's been a really good Patriot. He's another in a long line of great stories of the undrafted guys that turn into really solid players. Malcolm Butler, Randall Gay. There's a lot of corners that have done that over the years. Really, really good career. I think it's coming. I'm not burying it yet, but I agree with the emailer. I don't think he's been great this year.
Yeah, you wonder if he's one of those guys. Is he part of the next great Patriots team?
That's
don't
why
know.
I would
think-
look into it if
yeah.
someone was interested in him.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about yesterday with like Judon. If you had held on to Judon, maybe and you had him available now, could you hold up the Lions?
Yeah.
For Matthew Judon.
Oliver from the UK with some tourist tips for people
Oh.
visiting London
There
for
you
the
go.
game.
Oliver.
The Ivy Asia at a shopping area called One New Change is a fantastic restaurant within a stone's throw of St. Paul's Cathedral.
Cool.
There are a ton of great pubs around this area, and you are in the city where business happens and lots of historic buildings can be found. I would suggest exploring the area around Bank Station, where all the bankers and other financial services professionals work. Lots of great pubs,
Finance
venues that
bros.
cater to them. I work in the area, and if you're a tourist, it's worth the visit.
Tell the girls on the trip about that.
And he
A lot,
says
a lot
if
of
you're-
khakis and puffy vests.
Oh yeah, puffy
he
vest.
says
for
if you're
sure.
in the area, pints are on me. So okay,
Fred, you should take him up on
let's
that.
find Oliver. Let's find Oliver.
Oliver.
It's gonna be.
And Rick says, I think it was last week, I heard people complaining about the pick segment.
Yeah.
The pick segment is awesome.
Yeah.
I love listening to Fred try and explain the hook and the sharps, but I do miss his displeasure with Denver seemingly always being at home and Paul laughing hysterically.
It makes me laugh every week. I'm a child. I'll admit it.
And the shuffling of the papers when we go back to the Patriots game. Where did that stuff go? I do that. I did it.
Well, now that we're on TV, it's a little harder
Yeah.
to go back.
Yeah.
By the way, is it me or does it seem Tennessee is the college version of Denver? They never seem to have a road game.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee Vols.
Oh, yeah.
That happens in college. Teams will have like 5-6 home games in a row.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because like a lot of times you open the season with cupcakes.
Yeah.
And generally the big boys don't travel to the cupcake.
Yeah.
Although Missouri did to UMass
Yeah,
last
they
week.
did. What's going on?
Anyway,
with
it seems like Rick fashions himself as a sharp.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's got some tips.
Parlance.
Take the Patriots over Jacksonville. No, this isn't a homer pick. I love my
It's not a
wallet more
it's
than
not
the
a homer
team.
pick.
I've heard Paul say, and rightfully so, that when you have two good teams that are closely talented, grab the points. I think the same can be said for 2 crappy ones. Also, Jacksonville has been favored 3 times this year and has failed all 3 times against the spread. Drake's figures to improve off of last week. Go with our boys in this one. This is 2 out of 3. Take the Lions over the Vikings. As stated above, 2 closely talented teams. I'll grab the points. Also, Detroit has covered 7 straight contests against Minnesota.
I'm going to write these down.
And finally, take the Ravens over the Bucks. I don't listen to that maggot-infested turd, Colin Coward. Wow, that's strong.
Strong to quite strong.
But a while ago, during one of my rare minutes of listening to him, he said something that actually made sense. Teams in the NFC, have had a hard time against Jacksonville because against Jackson. Because they only see him every 4 years. And look at this year, the Ravens won and covered over Dallas and Washington. Lay the points with the Ravens.
I think that is actually a good point. He has an unbelievable. Do you know I think he's lost 1 game in his career against an NFC team.
I think so. Yeah.
Something like 21-1 against the NFC, and that's as good a reason as any.
I should say too, Evan might be a little late today, so I don't know how we want to handle it because they
talked
pushed
about
locker room
that.
back.
Yeah, we should start the
we
picks,
might have to
and
start.
we'll get his picks at a later date.
We don't have to hurry just yet, but we'll hurry in a minute.
He'll be coming in hot for Catch 22.
Oh right,
right.
Him and Alex bickering like an old couple already.
You should have heard them.
They were funny yesterday.
In the media workroom. It's like it was like me
it's
and
like
Andy.
they've been married for 50 years.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Alex,
I was
he's
on
asking
Alex's
him.
side though yesterday.
Oh really?
Like,
Why?
Evan was talking about how there's a grace period if your registration expires, and I don't think there is.
Don't
I
try
think
to
if
tell
your
Evan about
registration
cars or
expires, like there's no grace period.
No.
You have an unregistered vehicle.
Correct.
And then I said, Evan, no.
They could let you
like,
go, but
if they're nice.
Yeah.
But there's no like 30
I know
window grace.
there's a grace period when you first buy a car.
Right.
In order to
but
get
not
it
if you already have a registered
Right.
vehicle and it expires.
Yeah.
Then you're driving an
and I
unregistered,
think
uninsured
Christian,
vehicle.
I think, said it expired on October 5th.
Yes.
Right. So.
Like not long ago, but
No.
it's still
and
expired.
And I could see if they wanted to give him a break or whatever, but then you hear and you listen, you watch the.
They did give him a break.
I think
No
they were trying to
OUI
give him a
test.
break.
His
you
mom
know?
trying to save him.
All right. Well, it's that time of the week, Jules. Paul, what are the records?
I'm scared.
I feel I had a good week.
The glasses
be
come
nice.
on.
Oh, he doesn't look happy right now.
Oh no, to the contrary.
All
contrary.
Evan and Paul.
Wow.
Oh, wow. What?
13-1.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Mike and Alex 11-3.
Oh, not as bad as I thought.
And Fred 9-5.
Oh.
Oh, sharps.
With the spread, Paul 10-4.
Alone at the top.
Evan and Mike 9-5. Fred 7-7.
I had a bad spread week.
You did, Alexandra.
I'm scared.
5-9.
Oh my God.
no.
That's an all-time bad.
Yeah.
So that's like Paul-like for the rest of the season. So the standings, my strong week has gotten me to the top
There you
of
go.
the overall,
Wow.
Pat yourself on
57-35, followed by Alex at 56-36, Evan 55-37, Fred 54-38, and Mike 53-39.
All right, I'm right there.
So
Chomping.
we're all, it's like
Yeah.
one game all the way down.
Yeah. There we
With
go.
the spread, Fred remains at the top with his feel for the league.
Incredible feel this year.
49-40-3. Evan 48-41 and I'm sorry, Evan and Mike 48-41-3. Paul 47-42-3 and thanks to Alex is
tumbled
5-9.
this week.
We're starting to hear Paul's
But still-
footsteps, though. Starting to hear Paul's footsteps.
You got the theme of the week then.
Yeah.
Good
Breathing
job.
down your
Right.
neck.
45-44-3. Still making money.
Not good enough.
Still making money. So
Gotta lock in.
yeah, I am 2 games behind Fred.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what you guys did? You let me hang around.
We should have put him.
Don't let him win one.
All right.
We got PD going tomorrow night. Don't let us win tonight.
right.
All right. So when Evan comes, he can catch up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay,
We'll
'cause we
just-
don't know his
Just do
picks.
rapid fire.
But tonight, 8:15 on Prime Video, it's the 3-3 Broncos at the 2-4 Saints.
The Denver Broncos by 2.5.
I assume
In a
this is-
rare road tilt for the Broncos. I figured.
I
I'd
assume
save
this
you
is
that
still
one, Fred.
Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
She gets
I
scrapped to
probably
say
should
that one.
look at that.
Rattler. Gosh, this is tough. It's hard to pick Bo Nix, and he's a road favorite.
No receivers for the Saints. Olave
Yeah,
and
right.
Shaheed are both out.
Yep.
no Patrick Surtain for the Broncos. Probably their best player.
That's gross. You know what? And in this kind of situation, I'm going to just go with a home dog.
It's amazing. A lot of guys not able to play 3 days after they played last.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Amazing.
No, it's weird.
Yeah, give me the Saints at home. I'll take the points, 2.5.
I'm just going to go with Vegas on this one. I'll take Denver.
So I am going to take Denver as well. Those receivers being out for the Saints, they seem like they've been struggling even with those receivers. So I'll take Denver. I think their defense is legit, even without Surtain.
So I was looking at reports, and apparently the league came to Denver and said, hey, listen, we got to have you play on the road this week. And Peyton said, well, listen, that used to be hard for me, so I'll allow that. So
makes sense.
Yeah. So, but I will take the Broncos playing a road game at home.
Oh, true, yeah.
Sean
Payton
alone.
tribute video coming?
Yeah.
On an island.
All right. We're going to skip over.
Oh,
Thank you, Paul.
Do a nice
The
exaggerated.
Patriots on Sunday morning, and we're going to go to 1 o'clock, Fox, 3-3 Seahawks at the 4-2 Falcons. Sneaky good game here.
Hot Atlanta.
Atlanta by 3.
This one's for the Birds.
Yeah. I feel like Geno Smith looked like Paul's version of Geno Smith last week. Am I
Did he?
wrong? Am I wrong?
Did he?
A couple bad interceptions. Yeah, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins at home.
You like that?
You like
You
that?
like that? I like it. I'm going to take it. Atlanta by 3.
I like it. I love it. Atlanta.
Yes, I will take Atlanta as well, both ways.
Okay. Me too. I'm with you. 1 o'clock CBS, 1-4 Titans at the 4-2 Bills.
Buffalo by 9.5.
Sheesh.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, so a big Amari Cooper debut at home.
Yeah.
Exciting for Buffalo.
Short week for Buffalo.
I'm definitely going to take Buffalo to win. Is it going to be that close, though, with Will Levis? I'm going to say no. I'm going to lay the points, all 9.5 of them, please.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo to win at home, but short week, I'll give Tennessee the points.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to take Buffalo both ways.
No,
I
I'm
think
scared.
Cooper gives them a little bit of a boost.
Don't let Paul scare you.
Now that Paul's bouncing back.
Yeah, see, this is what happens.
He's got the
This is what
juice.
Yeah,
Got that
I'll take
aura.
the Bills both ways.
I will take the Bills, but I will take the points. Just another
Now I
step
feel
toward
better.
the window closing.
Keeps closing.
So the Bills win
Yeah.
5-2.
Yeah.
Did Amari
Windows
Cooper put any kind of window delay in the window closing for that?
What's
is
that?
Amari Cooper, did that delay the window closing?
No,
at
it's
all,
just
or-
going to make it that much worse for them when they lose because he's
I
going to
like
be
that.
pissed. Sunday at 1, CBS, 2-4 Bengals at the 1-5 Browns.
Cincinnati by 6.
6. Yeah,
Damn.
I
It's like 9.
yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
big road favorite.
Yeah.
It is, but you know what? I
They're
think
both,
they're
like,
I
down
think they're
bad.
Actually
due.
did one right.
Did I get it right?
I think
I
they're
think.
due for a division
You think?
smackdown. Cleveland unloading Cooper. Maybe not the last. I'll take Cincinnati, and I'm going to lay those points too.
Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati.
So, in all seriousness, I understand all the off-field stuff with Deshaun Watson, but what do you think is wrong? Like, why does he look so bad?
He's dewashed.
But why?
I don't know. It's a great question.
I'm going to take the Bengals both ways. So I was wondering
Couldn't
if
have
you
been
guys
that
had any
bad, right? When they gave him
theories.
that contract, like it can't be that bad, and
I
it's
just don't
that
think
bad.
he can focus on football anymore.
Yeah.
He's got more lawsuits
Do you
pending.
think
It's a very
that's all it is?
cerebral position.
Yeah, everybody
I
hates
don't think
him.
he's focused on the game.
Maybe he doesn't care, and he got that contract, and it's like,
Maybe,
yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Maybe I'll watch film.
I mean,
Maybe
if
I
I'm
won't.
him, I mean, not that I don't think he deserves everything coming towards him, but maybe he's like, F the world, F everyone. Like, I'm paid. I'm laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better if like you were really great?
Yes,
You
totally.
could really say
but
F
like,
Because
the
if-
world.
if
but
he-
has the ship
if
sailed?
he played the way he played in Houston, people would not be focusing on his
Yeah,
off-field
right.
stuff.
They
I think it's
No.
the fact that he's played so badly will not allow that
Can't forget
ever
it.
to
Yep.
go away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not that it should go
No,
away. I'm
just-
saying that's the way, unfortunately,
stinks.
Yeah.
that's the way it works. Like, oh, you know,
Right. Winning is the
you,
best
you
antiseptic.
come back and you play well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't that bad what he
Yeah.
did. No, I mean, it obviously doesn't change.
It does.
You got the Bengals, Freddie?
You know, I hate it, but I just can't give this away.
I'm getting that close to you that you
Yeah.
can no longer give me the layups.
I can't give you.
Joey B was looking like Joey B last week.
Huh?
I think Joey B was looking like Joey B.
Joey
again.
B.
Fred can't pick Cincinnati.
Joey B. has been
It's
looking
personal.
like him for a while.
He's been great,
Yeah.
really, since the first game.
He is the reason that they've got
He's just
2
frustrated.
games.
He's going to go off on them.
1 o'clock CBS. The 5-1 Texans coming off a huge win. They might have an emotional letdown.
It's huge on the scoreboard.
Against
Even
the,
Alex is laughing at you.
against the 4-2 Packers. I don't know if they can,
Good
get
game,
that
though. Good
emotion
game here.
back up.
This is a good game.
One of 2 really good 1 o'clock games, I think. Houston at Green Bay, Packers by 3.
Ooh.
I think
So
I do
that's
this
really
a
a
lot.
pick'em.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I thought I'd save you the trouble.
yeah, I think it's like recency bias, especially when I see a team in person. But I was just really impressed with Houston. Joe Mixon maybe a little bit more healthy. I'm going to take Houston, and I'll take the points on the road, please.
I'm going to take that upset too.
Yeah, I think Houston is a better team than Green Bay. However, I am going to take the Lambeau sort of aura, to use Alex's word.
Okay.
And I'll take the Packers.
Yeah, I think the Packers are a little bit better than I give them credit for. But Texans, probably the best team in the league.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, possibly.
They put up 41 at
Right,
Foxborough.
exactly.
Huge win.
And I think that one's going to propel them to big, big things this year. So I'm going to take the Texans.
I did not expect to be on an island on that pick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what Evan says.
1 o'clock Fox. The 2-3 Dolphins are at the 3-3 Colts. Got a
The
little Bobby Brady there.
Colts by 3. It's Peter Brady.
Is it?
Come on, get it right.
Yeah.
Peter
When
Brady.
it's
When it's time to change, you've got to rearrange.
Yeah, you wonder how Miami spent their bye week. No Tua still would like to come back. Can you believe that, Paul? He's going to try to come back and play, but that's ridiculous.
I don't know about you, but I am not comfortable with
I
that.
think people should pick it.
I'm not comfortable with that. I can't watch it.
I think people
And it's
should,
about me.
Yeah, people should cancel the Dolphins.
I don't think he's going to be back this week, though. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Indy. I don't feel great about it. It sounds like Jonathan Taylor would be a little bit better, but yeah, I'm gonna take Indy. I'll lay the points.
I'll take Indy. I'll give Miami the points.
She's taking the hook.
I am going to take Indy as well. This is one of those games that Miami's going to kick themselves because of their situation. I think this is a game they would absolutely win with offense, and they're not going to have enough. I'll take Indy.
I'll take Indy as well. 1 o'clock on Fox. The 4-1 Dolphins are at the 5-0 Vikings.
Okay, so they're not the Dolphins. They're the Lions.
Did I say the Dolphins?
You
Yeah,
did.
you meant
I'm sorry.
Detroit.
The 4-1 Lions are at the 5-0 Vikings.
This is the other 1 o'clock game that I foreshadowed. The Vikings by 1.5.
It's another good game. This was the other one I assume you were referring to as a 1 o'clocker.
Thanks for keeping up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I know
there he is.
Aiden Hutchinson. Hope he's doing well down there, Texas. Hope you're all right. Yeah, I'm gonna take Detroit. I know I still, as well as Minnesota's played, I can't buy Sam Darnold just yet. I'm gonna take Detroit, and I'll take those
That's
points.
what I
Please.
say every week, and then
I know. Minnesota's my bugaboo. They always are like.
How many games in a row have they won?
5. 5-0. Coming off a bye. Evan's back.
Oh yeah, they're playing now. Okay.
Evan has returned from
Play it double time. We gotta hurry.
Has returned from practice, yeah. Evan has returned from practice. What was the mood? Who wasn't there? What did he see?
All right, before we get to Evan, let's just finish up this game.
Okay. Alex.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
Okay. Ev, why don't you make your first pick? Detroit is at Minnesota. Vikings by 1.5.
I'm taking Detroit also. I think they're rolling.
I am going to take the Lions. If for no other reason, then I'll be rooting for them, especially without Hutchinson.
I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Skull.
Okay, so Evan.
Just to let you know, 13-1 last week.
You were?
And you.
Oh.
And you, my friend.
Whoa.
He
I'm
knew.
like,
He knew.
I didn't know.
13
Him
and
being
1.
13-1 is like, okay, fine. But
That's why we write it on our
That's
paper
why.
so we can tell.
Footsteps.
It's week
That's
6.
like, where's
It's
he
week
going
6.
Here he comes.
Not worried. Lot of
Very-
ball.
very
Lot of
well
ball.
done.
Seabiscuit
I'm
coming
hearing him.
around.
All right, Evan, what happened at practice?
all right, good news first. The
yeah,
good news is
yeah.
Marcus Jones is back
Yeah.
at Patriots practice on Thursday.
Marcus Jones is back at practice.
So he popped up on the injury report with an illness along with his groin injury yesterday. So
My guess is that the illness was mostly to blame for that DNP. And then the bad news, still no Ramondre Stevenson. So he's still not practicing with a foot injury. Vidarian Lowe also not practicing with an ankle injury. So it looks like those two guys are going to be out. And if I had to guess, we might see Trey Jacobs at left tackle this week with Onwenu going back out to right.
So
I don't feel great about it.
Would it be Jordan at left guard and Robinson at right guard, or would So be going?
If I had to guess, yes, that would be.
I
the
said
case.
two different things.
I would. Oh, I thought I was going with the first thing you said.
Okay, so Robinson at right guard.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jacobs, Jordan,
So 7th combination
Brown,
on tap.
Robinson, Onwenu.
Wow.
Would be my guess.
Onwenu back outside.
Yes. Yeah, out of necessity, it seems like this time. And I'll just throw out there that everybody was watching Drake May like it was the Zapruder film. We
Looked fine, I heard?
Looked perfectly fine. Did not have any braces.
No
did
braces.
not have any limp or
Crutches,
any noticeable issues with his
wheelchairs,
knee.
nothing? Okay.
Absolutely nothing, but that's just from the eye test.
Did he have
you know,
any MRI residue of any
I'm not
sort?
touching that, but I
Keep your residue to yourself.
I don't. Just based off of us watching him move around, he looked fine.
Okay, good.
Was Ben Volen there?
He was not.
So you guys couldn't gang up.
Interesting.
So let me ask you, as the cadre of media people,
Yes.
when you have a media person who makes a report on his own, like Volen did, he was the only one. Do you guys like all go to him and say, "Hey, where did you get that from?" Is there like a?
It's more kind of behind his back than anything.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like we all go to each other and are you hearing that? Are you hearing that? That sort of thing. And at least as of right now, he looks fine. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Out at practice.
If you were to choose one media member who is a regular participant in the gaggle, who would you say is the alpha dog?
The alpha dog. Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, like, he doesn't necessarily carry himself.
Who sets the mood?
Like an alpha
I don't do
dog.
the day-to-day anymore, Fred.
He doesn't, because he's such a nice guy. But like Reese is.
Mike Reese.
Oh, okay.
Reese is
big lead by example guy.
Yeah, like he's not going to come out and with the chest puffed out or anything. But in terms of like who do you?
It's not Andrew Callahan.
I plead the fifth.
Oh.
No, not him.
Okay.
I would say Reese.
I would agree with that. I think it's Reese.
Yeah.
And, maybe Tom Curran, but he's not really a day-to-day
No, but
guy.
isn't Callahan the head of the PFW PBA?
Yeah. He leads from behind.
He is, and I would say that he's near the top of the list because of his affiliation with the whatever you just called it.
Reese leads the questions off. He sets the tone. He asks the things that It's funny
He gets
because
his front row seat.
he gets the good
No one
question in,
sits
but
in
then he'll
his
also
seat.
ask some random one that you didn't even see coming about like one of the penalties that I didn't even really pay attention to. So
My
he does a
favorite
great
Mike
job.
Reese is Friday afternoon with Jeremy Springer, and it's just a core group of us diehards that will stay for Jeremy Springer at like 2:00 on a Friday afternoon. And Mike Reese is asking him about L3 and the personal protector and this. I'm impressed. Like I don't even pay attention to that.
Those
stuff,
two guys
so.
have to be like a match made in heaven with enthusiasm.
Oh
and
yeah.
positivity.
The special teams even on the All-22, or do they just like cut off those plays?
No, it has its own film. It's only the cool thing about the special teams film is that it's so short. So if there is a play that happens on special teams that's worth breaking down, like a punt return or something like that,
get to it.
Yeah, it takes you 30 seconds.
All right.
It's not really a third of the game.
Should we zip Evan through it? Are you up for a lightning round?
I'll get him.
You want to get it after?
Okay.
Or do you want to do
Any
it
way
now?
you want to do it.
Put him on the spot.
We can
We'll
get
do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
We
So
gotta hurry.
Yeah, we'll continue from where we left off, which is 1:00 on Fox. The 3-2 Eagles at the 2-4 Giants.
Philly by 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Tight divisional battle. I like Philly on the road. I'll lay the points.
Philly.
Dilly.
I'm also taking Philly, but I don't like how the Eagles look right now.
No.
Or smell or taste.
How could
or
you?
anything.
Nick Sirianni taking a lot of crap.
Bringing human shields to his press conference.
His own children.
He's like
That's
yelling
exactly
at
what he
fans
did.
in the crowd. Like, get a hold of yourself.
Oh man.
Anyways.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points. I'll take the Eagles, but I will take the points, which is what I tend to do when I'm not sure. All right. Now we move to 4:05 on CBS. The Tom Brady-owned 2-4 Raiders are at the 1-4 Rams. Oh, that's disgusting.
The Lar by 6.5.
Wow.
Eek, that's a big spread.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams, but I'll give the Raiders those points. I'll pull a Fred on that one.
This is Aiden O'Connell again.
I will retweet Mike.
Yeah.
I like the Rams both ways. I don't think they're a 1-4 team. I know they've had a bunch of injuries, so I like the Rams both ways.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lar both ways as well, and because of that spread, I just feel like it's the Fred thing. Like,
Sharps know something.
seems like a big spread for a one-win team to be
Yeah.
favored. You know, same as the Patriots game coming up later. I'll take the Lar.
Yeah, I hear you, Paul, but what the Sharps are not taking into consideration is Tom Brady getting into that locker room before the game, giving them the pep talk. It's about honor, your honor, your family's honor.
You don't really think he's going to spend a whole lot of time in Vegas, do you?
I do.
I don't.
I think that he's already invested in that basketball team. And
I mean, right now. Like
yeah. And I think
where's he broadcasting?
And I hear that they're getting the ownership group together for the NBA expansion team, and I'll bet you he's part of it.
Fenway Sports Group.
So I'm going to go with the Raiders both ways.
Okay.
I don't really have to say one way because they're dogs.
No, well, but if you wanted them to win outright, yeah.
They're going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
They're going to have more points.
4:05 on CBS. The 1-5 Panthers are at the 4-2 Commanders.
Commanders by 8.
Woo! Who'd have think?
So much.
Who'd have thought going into the season that the Commanders would be 8-point favorites in any game?
Oh, not me, that's for sure. Yeah, I think they bounced back after they lost to Baltimore last week. Jaden Daniels, I'll take them. Am I going to lay out all the 8 of those points? Yes, I am.
Retweet again.
Yeah, I'm just going.
I
We're
love
all
how
on
Mike
the same
actually
page
writes
with
down
this.
his picks.
I do. I like to tally them up, and then
I think
that's my
he likes
favorite
to
thing
make
do
sure
when
Paul gets it right.
Well,
you
that's
know?
good. No, he should.
No. Paul
We need
Paul
to check
checks
some
Matt Morrell.
balances.
That's the only. That's it.
So, Ev, you can look at all the cross-outs and stuff.
Yeah.
You absolutely should make sure that I get it right.
Yeah,
'cause I
Bernie
don't.
Madoff had nothing on Paul when it comes to
So
this
I am
stuff.
going to take Washington as well, but I will take the points. 8 points is a lot.
So he's got that like green visor on. He's doing the thing in the morning.
I'll go with the Commanders as well, both ways. 4:25 on Fox and Fox Deportes. The other undefeated team, the Chiefs at 5-0, are at the 49ers 3-3.
Super Bowl rematch, despite what Fred Kirsch says. Niners by 1.5.
I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm just going to continue to take Kansas City, and I will give them 1.5.
49ers are favored by 1.5.
I'm going to take San Francisco. I feel like the Chiefs have to lose at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing.
They don't have to.
I'm
They
going to
don't,
take the
but
49ers
this
as well.
Chiefs team, like...
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers as well. I feel like when you play the Super Bowl rematch, sometimes the team that lost, they're the more pissed off team. They're the team that's more
they're the home
motivated.
team.
This is why Evan and I go 13-1.
Oh,
individual
jeez. It was
weeks.
1 week. Let it go.
He's
That's
right.
pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good, Mike.
And we lost different games, too.
Oh.
I will take the Niners to win at home.
Anyone back from the Niners? Like, what's going on there?
No McCaffrey still.
No
McCaffrey's still.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
8:20 Sunday night, NBC, Universo, and Telexitos.
And Peacock.
Good. The 2-4 Jets are at the 4-2 Steelers.
So I will say, Pittsburgh is doing what Devin McCourty wanted to do.
Put Russell Wilson in?
They have not. They have not announced their quarterback plans.
all right. Okay.
It certainly sounds like Russell Wilson's going to start. I think Justin Fields had a press conference where he said, I didn't play well enough.
Yeah.
And this wouldn't be an issue. So for all those, I say, like, generally that's not how it's done. Well, Pittsburgh is doing it the way Devin McCourty suggested.
And the Jets could be looking ahead.
The Jets are favored by 2.5. I just got that.
You're killing me, Fred.
Jets by 2.5.
I hate this game. I
hate this game.
I hate the
Mike
thought
hates
of
everybody.
No, I hate the thought of like putting Russell Wilson in. Like if I'm a Steelers fan, I don't want to see Russell Wilson. I want to like let Fields work through it. He's a young guy. Like
couldn't possibly
Russell
agree
Wilson.
more.
Like he's like what are we doing?
The only chance that Pittsburgh has of getting to another level is if Justin Fields somehow clicks.
Yeah. So in that regard, they're stupid. I'm going to take, of course, but I don't know for sure. They might not be doing it. But I'm going to take the Jets. Maybe they get a little boost with Devontae Adams reuniting him with Aaron Rodgers. But I will say, I think there are like a lot of people, a lot of whispers that Aaron Rodgers is washed. But I'm going to take the Jets anyway.
I agree with what Mike said.
I'm going to take the Jets both ways as well. I do think they get a little jolt from Devontae Adams reuniting with Rodgers. I think it'll be short-lived, but I like them this week to put up some points.
So tease the Jets fans a little bit. And
I like the way the Jets offense looked the other night. I thought that was the best semblance of offense that they've really had.
Except against the Patriots.
They missed the 2 short field goals, which were killers. Too many penalties, which I think stopped some of their drives. They cleaned some of that up. I think they could be all right offensively.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Jets as well.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Oh, Freddie picking.
But
the Jets and Cincinnati.
I think that what Tomlin's doing is he's kind of giving a little respect to Russell Wilson, but at the end of the day, he's going to decide Justin Fields is going to start.
I hope so.
8:15 Monday night on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes. The 4-2 Ravens are at the 4-2 Buccaneers.
Good game.
Baltimore by 3.5. First of the Monday night twin bill again. Thoughts?
I like
Hate
it.
it.
I like it.
Don't like it.
I like
Same.
it.
Don't like it.
I don't really watch either of them, but I think it's kind of fun to wake up and have 2 games to review. I'm going to take Baltimore. Thank you to our friend for calling in and mentioning Jackson's record versus the NFC, but I was going to go with them anyway. I think they got a good offense, and Derrick Henry is pretty good. So, yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore both ways. I think the Bucs just too inconsistent to stick with a team like Baltimore.
Oh, he's been baking. What do you have, 5 touchdown passes last game?
Also threw 3 picks in the same
4
quarter.
4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Big play quarterback, both teams. I'm going to take the Ravens both ways as well.
I will take the Ravens as well. That was a good nugget about that Colin Cowherd had about the Ravens' record against the NFC.
Well, the nugget was that he feels like it's because the NFC teams do not see him.
Right, and that's why.
And the record is
too fast. You can't see him.
When you have a feel for the league like Evan and I, you know these things.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
These guys, I'm going to take more of a pain in the ass.
13-1
now.
I know. If I ever have a good week, I'm going to do this.
Fred won undefeated.
You're never
going to
have 13-1.
Fred did go undefeated one week.
I did.
Maybe I'll go 16-0 once.
Not possible.
I don't know that. I don't know that that's ever happened.
Well, it will.
14-0 has happened, and I think Fred did it.
It was a bye week.
Yeah, like last week. 13-1.
Now 9 o'clock on Monday night. Remember back in the day, Paul, when Monday night football games always started at 9 o'clock?
That's too late. I mean
kickoff,
8:20 is too
kickoff
late.
would be 9:15.
Ugh. What are we doing?
That was on the regular.
We just do 7 o'clock.
Used to be 9 o'clock.
When do people go to
Monday
bed?
night games.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Can we just do 7 o'clock? What's wrong with 7 o'clock?
9 o'clock on ESPN
Grandpa
Plus.
needs to heat up some milk.
So wait, hold on.
Perfect.
Hold,
You eat
hold,
your dinner.
please.
The game
Hold,
starts.
please.
You're over by 10.
So this doubleheader,
It's
the
brought to you
second
by-
game is only on ESPN Plus. Is that true?
That's all I'm
I
seeing.
have it.
Fred.
I subscribe.
Oh, I did
So
not know that.
to
So I
me,
shan't be watching a play.
That is not truly a doubleheader in my mind.
No, it's a
Wow.
secret. A second
You,
secret.
the director of content.
I don't
is
have
anti-streaming.
ESPN Plus. I don't have ESPN Plus.
It's actually not his title.
I think
by
he's
the
the
way.
vice president of content.
Yeah.
The czar of content does not watch games.
Fair.
No, I watch Prime.
streaming.
I have Peacock. I
Deportes.
have NFL Network. Well, NFL Network's
Why
not
do you not
streaming.
have ESPN Plus?
I don't know why. I think I got it once.
Don't you have Disney?
Yeah.
I do have Disney.
Oh, you
Isn't
should
that
have,
the
you should have a
same?
bundle.
No.
Bundle
It's
it.
the same.
Get it
It's
bundled.
but you have to bundle
Get
it.
it bundled.
You
Bundle
have
it
to
up.
bundle it. I have
You got to plus it up.
I have
Plus it up,
Disney
bundle
Plus.
Yeah, so it's ESPN Plus only streaming or streaming for everybody, but locally on Fox if you live in those markets.
Right.
So
Right.
it's an ESPN Plus game.
So it's not a doubleheader for me because I will never, at 9 o'clock, go to a stream.
No.
No way.
No.
Not even for Kyler
the
Murray.
LAC by 2.5.
Yeah, I'm on the lack on this one. I'll take the lack. Lay the points. Gotta hurry.
I'll take the Chargers. I'll give Arizona the points at home.
Ooh, tight one.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this game. I just
You like the Cardinals.
I do like the Cardinals. I like watching them play. They've been rough a little bit last week against the Packers in Lambeau, but they're back home. They're back in their dome. I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a believer in the Chargers yet, but I'm going to take the LAC. This is a big game for them if they want to sort of get themselves in the wild card picture in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this game. Just because.
Well, you don't need a reason.
They've kind of disappointed me. I thought their offense was going to be top 5 in the league, and they've really kind of dropped off the cliff there offensively. But Chargers, there's just something not right with them.
I mean, they jump out to a 23-0 lead. They looked great last week, and they just kind of ho-hummed it in the second half.
Jim Harbaugh's having heart palpitations.
Yeah.
It's weird. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I will go with the Cardinals in that
the kind
game.
of analysis you
Now
get right
we
here.
have to hurry. We have to make way for Catch 22 shortly. So let's go back to Sunday morning, 9:30, NFL Network. Both teams 1-5, Jaguars and Patriots.
Jacksonville by 5.5.
5.5.
That's ridiculous.
That's disrespectful to Drake May and the Patriots. I just think if the Patriots can get a little bit of a lead on them and make the Jacksonville defense kind of get a little bit in their own heads.
Quitty.
I like the Patriots. I think Jacksonville, we have every reason to think they're going to move the ball too. But I like New England. I like the points. Give me the Patriots. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 27-24.
I would love to take the Patriots. Just this Ramondre stuff scares me, and I think it might get worse before it gets better with Drake. I don't know. I'll take Jacksonville. I don't like it. I know. We'll cover.
That's nice.
What's the spread? It went up to 5.
5.5.
Let's do 27-24.
You're just sucking up to Karen Middleton.
That's good, Fran.
Who?
That was.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, he got her first name wrong, so I didn't know who he was talking about at first.
What's her name?
Kendra.
Oh.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but
I don't suck up to anyone.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
she don't shine shoes no more.
I'm looking forward to this game because I don't think there's going to be much defense in this game. I think both offenses have good matchups, and that Jaguars defense is dead last in pretty much every passing category in the NFL this year. And I like the matchup for Drake May. It's an island game for the Patriots, and I think that Drake May is going to have a little coming out party in this game. I'm going 30-27 Patriots.
Oh, close one.
Across the pond, game-winning drive by Drake May. Welcome to the NFL.
Whoa.
This spread to me really stood out. 1-5 against 1-5 with a 5.5 point spread. I thought that was odd. I'm going to take Jacksonville to win. I feel like they know something, but I will take the points. I'm going to say 23-20. I understand both defenses stink, but I just can't. The Patriots at some point are going to score that amount of points, and then I'll start to treat them like they can do that. But I need to see it first.
Well, I had a premonition, and the premonition was the Patriots scoring in the 30s. So when Evan said 30, I said, oh, he's onto something. 31 for the Patriots, 24 for the Jaguars.
I
Jaguars.
haven't seen a game like that in a while.
All right.
Yeah. So that's it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered. Pre-game show 8:15 Eastern time.
Special guest
cinnamon toast for Paul.
8:15 Eastern time on Sunday.
I think everybody knows who the special guest
and
is.
we have a special.
Well, we already talked
His
about it.
name
on
is
the Sports
Rob.
Hub.
Special guest Hardy returns.
Yes.
The return of Hardy. So you want to tune in on 8:15.
Takes the place of the interim.
There's no sense in having Hardy if you're not going to promote it, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Boost up the ratings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Especially the female demographic.
Yeah. And the magicians. The magicians, too. Yeah.
Don't let it go by you.
All right. Stay tuned for the Catch 22 with Evan and Alex. They'll be up right after this. We will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original podcast.